And we are live, WrestlePurists Podcast, episode 104, hosted by
Yeah.
myself, Big AO, and Charlie. We're going to review last night's AEW Dynamite, like we always do on these Thursdays. Definitely a better episode than last week, so I think this podcast is definitely going to have a different mood to it. First things first, please like, subscribe, send any super chats with any questions, any takes, anything like that. We'll get them read out. Please turn on the post notifications. Hope everyone's doing well. Starting with my fellow co-host, AO. You're back. You found your smile.
Back, baby.
What's good, brother?
The commander of the elite fleet is back. I was ready to give up my post. I was ready to call it a career. You feel me? I was ready to sell my account, but I was getting lowballed. Brother, Elon Musk has paid me thousands of dollars. Your $100 offers was not gonna move me, all right? You fucking what do you marks?
AO entered free agency. AO entered free agency. He was like, these offers they're not good enough, brother. You know? I'm going back home.
I loved Dynamite last night. If you know me, Swerve Strickland's one of my favorite wrestlers. He killed it. Hangman's one of my favorite wrestlers. That angle was awesome. Keith Lee's one of my favorite wrestlers. He had a really fun match with Samoa Joe. I'm all smiles, bro. I'm all smiles. There's just one thing that we're gonna have to address, and it's gonna pain me to address it, but we'll get there when we get there.
All right, man. We're gonna get there. Charlie, what's good? How you doing today?
Doing good. I did not watch Dynamite live because I fell asleep because of my new job has me up at like 6:30 every morning. But I watched it today and I had a great time with it. It was a good time. Been out to the pub tonight, but I'm back and we're ready to review Dynamite. It's gonna be a good time, I hope.
You know, pub, AEW Dynamite review. It's the perfect Thursday night, people. You know, so good
Chuck,
stuff.
How was the switch to not watching Dynamite live consistently?
It's been weird, to be honest. Like, because some weeks I do catch it, but sometimes I just got to sleep instead. And yeah, it has been really weird because I went through a phase where I was watching it every single week live, no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
But got to be an adult sometimes, I'm afraid.
Yeah. It makes a change, you know. Charlie's sleep schedule is not many people at WrestlePurists is pretty hilarious, but it seems like she's got herself into more of a normal schedule these days with this new job. So God bless.
And I'm on the pod this week, but I won't be on the podcast next week because I will be in LA.
Hold on.
I'm not gonna be able to pod from LA, bro.
Why not?
I'm not gonna be.
Rocky Romero joined us on Monday from Japan or wherever he is.
I'm gonna be at Revolver.
All right.
Probably.
Reporting at Revolver?
Yeah, I'm gonna just do a run in.
You got your Ronda Rousey song ready?
Bro, that's not gonna. No. They put her in the match with Athena, so it's not even like I can use that as my break. Because I'm not skipping Athena.
It's like a tag or something, right?
It is. It's like Marina Shafir and Ronda Rousey versus Billy Starks and Athena.
Yeah, that's not enough to keep me in my seat.
Speaking of
new great
companies putting talents I like in matches with people I don't like, Trent Seven's got the match with Volador Jr. And I was like, are you fucking serious? This is the second show they've done this.
You can't escape.
El Desperado. I can't escape.
Hey, man,
every single time.
Look. I'm gonna just say it. Trent Seven's a piece of shit. But that match with Despy was kind of gas. I can't count
because it was Despy.
Match was kind of gas.
Yeah, Charlie's gonna continue to avoid Trent Seven whenever she can, but she's struggling. She's not doing very well.
I literally cannot escape.
But before we get into AEW Dynamite, we might as well touch on some of the news stories because there isn't that many of them. But the big one that's came out in recent hours is Vince McMahon has decided to sell roughly about 30% of his TKO shares. Of course, TKO is the company that is the umbrella company of WWE and UFC. And Vince, of course, had a big stake in it. He's selling 30% of that stake, and it just seems like the clock is ticking. It seems like it's just a matter of time before Vince sells up even more significant parts of his shares, and he's out the door for good. We saw the interview that he did in Saudi Arabia. It was only short, but fuck, man. In recent years, it's really interesting to see how Vince McMahon, for the longest time, like even into his 70s, for the longest time, was like, oh, Vince McMahon is, he keeps himself in great shape. He's on all kinds of steroids. He's doing this. He's still jacked. You know what I mean? But yeah, the past couple of years, bro,
he looks like
he's really looking his age. His voice is getting all croaky, of course. I know he recently had back surgery, but just the visual of seeing him with the walking stick and everything, he's quite striking. And like I said, it seems like he's on his way out, setting up his shares. So it really does seem like that day is actually realistically, coming up on us, where Vince is actually going to be like as good as gone, like might keep some shares in the company or something. But
look, man, I'm just not gonna allow this to happen. Vince McMahon created
what are you gonna
professional
do?
wrestling. Vince McMahon is the father of professional wrestling. WWE needs him there to guide the ship. We need him back in creative. We need him back setting the guidelines. We need him signing the talent. I need more Matt Morgans, brother. I need him. Like, why are you signing people like Dragon Lee when you can get people like who's out there right now? Like, get Juicy for new. Like, get Lyle. Get Tonga. Like, these are Vince guys.
Spiteful.
These are the people that this business was built off of. But I actually think that Vince, this isn't him like sundowning or whatever. He's just trying to make some money, and be petty at the same time. When the news hit, I was like, yeah, this is gonna kill the TKO stock in after hours, and it did. It dropped like 6 points after hours. Investors do not like when people bulk sell like that, even if it is a psychopath like Vince McMahon. So I think it's dropped like $6 around there. I think he's gonna buy some stock. He's gonna buy some stock back in the future. We'll see. I don't think, like, obviously he's getting cucked by Ari. He's getting cucked by Nick Khan. But the old dog still got some.
Nick Khan's playing the long game, bro. He mapped it all out years ago.
He Game of Thrones them.
He's Nick Khan's ruthless, bro. Let me tell you.
We won't get the creator of professional wrestling back where he needs to be.
Listen, I'm no expert on the stock market either, but I do find it. All the talk around the share prices recently has been how much it's dropping. It's low at the moment. It'll probably bounce back, but it is low. Blah 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 blah. It wasn't expected to go as low as it did. So I was quite surprised. Again, I'm no stock market expert, but I was quite surprised to see.
No, because usually mergers, when a merger happens, especially two companies this like large, like the price skyrockets. Cause everybody's like, "Oh my god, it's gonna be the next huge thing." Like, I gotta buy into this. I gotta. Now everybody's really excited, and then the price skyrockets. And this was just like, yeah, nobody gives a fuck. The price is still on the shitter. So I'm no expert. I've made some money on the stock market, but it's mostly by listening to people that are much smarter than me. There. So I don't know, bro.
Yeah, Charlie, your dog has joined us. God bless you. It does that about once per episode, I think.
Yeah, it's always when my dad and brother get home from work, they come down to see us come in.
Yeah, I'm sure the audience is used to it now. But yeah, Charlie, Vince, it seems like he's on his way out, or maybe not.
It sure does. I genuinely I don't know anything about the stock market or anything to do with that, but it does seem like he's on his way out. Probably for the best. Like you said, like he's not looking in great health. Like, that's putting it lightly. Like, I genuinely don't know a whole lot about the topic, so I haven't got a whole lot to say.
But y'all are so ungrateful for everything Vince has done for y'all.
Personally, he's not
I'm the one who's made it sell the shit. Man. Yeah, man, he's
personally, I just don't really care if Vince is involved or not. I prefer if he's not. But it seems like he's well and truly
the creative. Like, don't you just miss like the dripstick from the pandemic?
I do miss the comedy.
Like, come on, bro.
Oh,
like, this was real.
Well, I was still watching WWE at that point, and I was like, what is going on?
So when did you tap out, Charlie, of WWE?
Like midway through, like 2021, maybe like late 2020, early 2021. So I've been tapped out for a little while.
You was hanging
I don't even
on.
watch the pay-per-views anymore. Like, I haven't watched like the last 4 pay-per-views.
When I came back to wrestling in 2016, the moment where I was like, I can't watch this shit anymore was it Pandemic? No, the moment where I cut it off cold turkey was Pandemic Raw. But the moment I said I can't watch this weekly anymore was like early 2019. I'm not exactly sure what happened, but like I was still keeping up.
Bro, it was. I don't think we realise how good we've got it now. Like with WWE being a lot more stable creatively than just like even when AEW is not great, it's like, bro, go back to those late 2010s, 2020, early.
All you had in the West, bro. Besides, like,
bro, it was so bad, man. WWE got so bad. I think because Triple H isn't the most like extravagant, exciting booker. He's very like steady. You know, he can definitely be accused of being called boring by some, but he's steady and very logical. Because it's not so like drastic in that sense. I think people do lose sight of just like how bad things got, man, in WWE. It was so bad.
I will say though, like Fed bad aside, right? I do miss the pay-per-views where it's just like anything could happen, for better or for worse, bro. Like even if it was good or if it was bad, like anything could happen during a Vince era pay-per-view. The pay-per-views now is just like I expect good wrestling, even though lately they've been misses in my opinion. But I expect good wrestling. I don't really expect anything too interesting to happen. It's just like good wrestling show, everybody goes home. But but Vince, bro, Vince had Finn Balor in Demon Pain doing the stanky leg, his music, like it was like an anime, bro. That shit was that wasn't gas to y'all. That was fire.
You know what? If the pandemic didn't happen, I probably would have tapped out a lot earlier. But it was like one of the only senses of normality is like I know the wrestling's on every week. Like that was like the only routine I had for a while.
You know, I was living on football for much of the pandemic. But yeah, man, we'll see what happens with the Vince's remaining shares and whatnot. But yeah, other quick notes. I wanted to make a note of this because it just pops me like A24 movie Iron Claw is out now in the United States, of course, featuring Zac Efron, Jeremy Allen White, Chavo Guerrero done a lot of like the choreography for the wrestling matches and stuff throughout the film. The film is based on the very tragic story of the Von Erich family. But yeah, there's loads of wrestling there's loads of stories that have like came up in wrestling over the years, especially the further you go back. But you think like this definitely could be a movie. But I think the Von Erich family story has always been one that stands out, even amongst wrestling stories. You know, as one that could be turned into a film. So it was always cool to see like a big studio like A24 like get a hold of it and get all these big name actors in it and stuff like that. And even people within the wrestling business that have got their cameos in it, like MJF is in it. Like I mentioned, Chavo Guerrero's played a really big part in the film as well. So, yeah, man. And from the premiere that was, I believe it was last night in the United States, it doesn't come out till like February for us, Charlie, in the UK.
I think it's like December, yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely later. But I think, like I said, I think the premiere was last night. And all the reviews that I've seen so far have been very, very good. A lot of praise for the film. So
I think Lexi went. Didn't you go, Chuck?
I messaged her, but she hasn't replied to me. Lexi, if you're watching this, or Charlie, if she isn't watching this, demand a reply for me.
She said she was going, but then she never gave us an update.
That she was going. You know what? Live on air, I will text Alexia right now and tell her to reply to Money's DM.
Because I'm pretty sure because she was going to be on the watch along. She was like, no, I'm going to go see the Iron Claw premiere or something like that. And then we just never got an update, you know, if she enjoyed the movie or not.
Yeah, man, this seems like one of the actual, I don't know, wrestling films, you know, they're very few and far between, especially done at like this level, you know.
Right.
So it's definitely one that I'm going to seek out, you know, even if I have to wait a little bit. But yeah, man, shout out the Von Erichs, you know, Kevin Von Erich, the last surviving brother, you know. God bless that man. You know, I know he likes to smoke his weed. I'd like to smoke a joint with him one day. You know, it'd be cool. You know, he's a big Hollywood movie star now. So
yeah.
I think it's Zach. I think it's Zac Efron who plays Kevin. I think. I'm not 100% sure. I think it is.
Sure.
I wish the Von Erichs that are in NWA or wherever they're flying around nowadays. I wish they was any good, bro. I wish I wish they was any good.
Why did you have to go there, man?
Like even to the point where it's like you could pretend like they're not good, but because they're Von Erichs, you can pretend that they're good. Like I wish they were at least at like that level. But unfortunately, it just wasn't meant to be. I guess.
It's
unfortunate.
It's unfortunate. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. It's unfortunate. You know, but God bless them. God bless them. All right, last little news thing before we go into Super Chats and Dynamite. There was a report by House of Wrestling earlier on today that the CW network was interested in AEW and approached AEW about talks in June 2022. Tony Khan basically declined this at the time because the AEW rights fees were, they're still to come up, and he was kind of waiting for that to all play out so he would have more leverage, per the report anyway. It also says that the CW network is open to hosting multiple pro wrestling products on their platform. Of course, we already know they've just done the deal with NXT. Mm-hmm. They do women's of wrestling as well. And CW looks like 2024. Their name's going to be popping up quite a lot.
Yeah.
With they're getting into the wrestling business, man.
Wait, what's this with the women's of wrestling?
They're on CW as well.
Oh, like currently, like right now?
Yeah, I believe so. One of the excerpts of the report is women's of wrestling will likely continue to air on the CW during the same time frame as NXT.
I thought it was like a YouTube show or something. Because I watched the episode on YouTube a couple months ago. I was like high as hell. I was like, I'm gonna check this out. It was interesting. Bro, it's
faded watching fucking women's wrestling.
Bro, it's hilarious because you watch it, right, and the crowd is just like so enthusiastic. They're clapping, they're jumping around. I type in women's of wrestling on Reddit.
Did I say CW is interested in AEW? I meant Ring of Honor.
Ring of Honor. I type in women's of wrestling. They got casting calls for crowd members. They're crowd's plans, bro. They're extras.
You gotta do what you gotta do, man. Obviously, the NWA as well. They've been linked to the CW network as well. So, AEW is linked to the CW network through Ring of Honor. You'd assume that they would have some sort of eyes on AEW as well, considering they're getting into the business. Women of wrestling, that promotion. They've just done a deal with NXT, and obviously all the links to NWA, which seems like that's not going to happen, but it just kind of shows their intent, doesn't it? So, like I said, it seems like it's going to be their name's going to pop up quite a lot, the CW network, over the next 12 months or so, with all these rights deals being negotiated. All right, Super Chats. Karan, 200 rupees, appreciate you as always. How can two grown adults tell their friend that they don't want him to hang out with someone and also risk their tag title shot to make sure he doesn't? The elite are terrible friends. I think that's the point.
Look, man. Yes. Hey, Monty. If your best friend of 15 years started hanging out with someone who tried to kill you.
If one of my good friends started hanging around with Chris Jericho, we lost AO.
I think so. I think his audio call, because he went sick. He was just having
I'm sure he can still hear us, so we'll just keep powering through. He'll be back. He is here, but not really. Karan again, 200 rupees. Appreciate you. The match graphic solution finally didn't work for AEW as a graphic. DG versus MJF was great, but DJ's character is so diluted and MJF muddied the alignment, hurt this one. No defined heel or face either. Yeah, there's definitely elements to that super chat that I definitely agree with. We'll get to it pretty shortly with the review, because obviously it opened the show. Charlton Spurs, $5. A return to form for Dynamite last night, but can we see it consistent be the true test. I mean, it was a step in the right direction. It wasn't really. I don't know. Like I said, we'll get into all that. World Choosing $5 appreciated. Does anybody miss Kenny as world champ? But no, we need Chris Jericho to sidetrack him.
I miss Kenny as champ every day. And that's not even a knock on anyone else that's been champ. Kenny's just...
Yeah, it's Kenny Omega, man. He's got a special place with the AEW audience. Of course, he was like the single star at the formation of the company. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Of course, it's Kenny Omega as well. That goes without saying. We've seen him have a great world title run, and with him being gone for so long, I've said this ever since he came back. Like, he was out for so long, fans just wanted to see him again and see him at his fullest doing what he does, which is have great singles matches for the most part. We haven't really got that much of it. Obviously, he's done the trio stuff, and then he's been doing other stuff, and then he hasn't wrestled quite as much as we'd like him to. But I do see him as someone that they can, he can be the top guy in that company again as a babyface this time with the world title, and it would go great. It's Kenny Omega. Yeah, I was reading like an article or someone's tweet or something earlier, and it was just like reading the people that Kenny Omega's like involved with right now is,
Oh my God.
he's got Chris Jericho, Paul White, Don Callis. He's just like, damn. I know there's some real hoopers in there, like Takeshita and whatnot. But fuck, man,
This has been the most convoluted and confused, and just they've lost the plot with this story. And I feel like I say that every week now, but how did we get so far from the original plot? How did we get here?
The liberals try to silence me because I was right. No. I think they're working on the internet in my complex. But like I was saying, if your best friend of 15 years try to murder your father on national television, Monty, I'm sure you'd have some strong feelings about your best friend hanging out with him. So I don't know why people are upset. Kenny low-key a piece of shit for hanging out with Jericho, and the Bucks have the right to be angry about it. It is what it is.
Books are just they go about it sassy, It's all intentional anyway. So.
They're allowed to be sassy. It's all intentional. They're leaning into everything that the internet cries about, and the internet's never going to be able to notice because the internet's very dumb. So I'm gonna love the run, and it's going to draw some money, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I hope so.
Shame they're not winning the belts at Full Gear.
Yo, if I say what I need to say about FCR, WrestlePurists will be cancelled.
Anyway, Will Chisholm $5. Vince forced his way back into the company, and then he got played by Endeavor. I mean, a lot of people think that. A lot of people do think that. Average 100 rupees appreciated as always. When it comes to booking women's division, AEW is the worst. Why the hell is TK scared to put at least 5 matches on Dynamite, Rampage, and Collision combined? You'd have to ask him, mate. I just don't. Women's wrestling is just not his the specialty. I don't think it's what he grew up loving. It's not something that I think has ever been super.
When people ask things like this, I'm gonna start doing background checks on them. I feel like y'all got ulterior motives, but I digress.
It's like the tweet on the Dumb Guy Live account. It's like, bro, we're about to go into year 5 of AEW.
Mm-hmm.
If you haven't gathered by now that if Tony Khan was running his ideal perfect promotion in his head, it probably wouldn't have women's wrestling on it.
Probably not.
He's never really shown a super enthusiasm towards it. Do you know what I mean? And like I said, we're going into year 5 now, and people are still saying the same things. It's just I'm not saying that it's good. I'm not saying that it's cool or anything like that, but sometimes you just got to know the animal you're dealing with. So, the women's division is what it is. Sometimes it'll be decent. Sometimes it'll be very, very frustrating. But
I don't think this is the conversation to have after last night's episode. A lot of women were featured. It was a good match. Red Velvet came back to a pop, had a good performance. You feel me? Stars came out, confronted each other. There was a debut that fans were really excited about. Toni Storm, and she had a really good promo segment. You could argue that the debut wasn't done well, but I personally
there's a couple things to debate,
in 2023, I don't see the difference between between vignettes and a backstage promo segment as a debut. When was the last time anybody? Oh my God, vignettes. Nobody gives a fuck, bro. Like, we're not 12 anymore. The debuter backstage, if they hit her music and she came out there, it would have been Jamie Hayter, all over again. Nobody remembered who she was. Nobody cared. It was dead silent, and it was very awkward. I think they did her a service presenting her this way.
Yeah.
Fans interested in finding out who she is.
Presenting her what backstage with RJ City, bro.
Brother,
come on,
brother. This is exactly no. Actually, it's not exactly how Jade was introduced to WWE. It was
bro,
better. Listen, Monty.
Okay.
They had the ESPN rollout. This is true. But on screen, they debuted her on the pre-show of a C-level pay-per-view, and nobody complained.
Yeah, because of the way his presentation, bro. She stepped out of the fucking a big SUV, looking like a bad bitch, bro.
It was the pre-show.
Meeting Triple H.
You don't even
all the other executives.
Monty, you don't even remember the pay-per-view that it was. You don't even remember. You don't remember. And you love WWE. Which one was it?
Payback?
Payback or Fastlane? It was Fastlane. I lied. I don't know.
Payback or Fastlane?
Bro.
It's about presentation, though, bro. Look, I'd rather be stepping out of a fancy car, meeting the head of the creative company in Triple H, than just being backstage in a 1-minute promo clip with fucking RJ City, bro. Especially with the rollout that they've done with ESPN, with all the headlines and everything. Jade was made to feel like a big deal, even if she wasn't running out in the middle. When she stepped out of that sedan, the hairs on Monty's back of his neck just stood up. Oh my God! Look at her step out of that Escalade. You were just jumping up and down for RJ City, bro. Like, come on.
No, respect RJ City. Come on, he's done like 20 years in the game. What's going on here?
Nah, man. There's like I said, neither of them debuted wrestling or in like a big angle or anything, but just the presentation of it. Jade was, we was told, pretty blatantly, like, this is a big deal coming in. This is a big deal signing coming in. Mariah May literally just appeared on screen with RJ City for a minute and acted like a fangirl for Tony. There's levels, bro. I thought that comparison was whack.
I would prefer them doing this with Mariah, though, than her just debuting at the pay-per-view and not getting a reaction, because the fans won't know who she is. At least they've been exposed to her now, so...
Yeah, I honestly think there's a happy medium. Like, I absolutely agree with what AO said and what you've just said, Charlie. Like, if you would have just hit her music and her name comes up on the Titantron, the chances of her getting any form of reaction would have been like very minimal, And I don't think that would have necessarily done her any favors. But I also think on the other end of the scale, just her coming up on screen with fucking RJ City for literally like 30 seconds to a minute also was not ideal. So, what AO said, about he's gone. We lost him again. He's got the Chris internet today. But AO was saying about like the vignettes and that he's like, we're so passive. Like, I don't think that at all. I think Mariah May absolutely could have got a vignette. It seems like she's going to be given the gimmick of like what's she calling it, the glamour or something.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
You could have just done some sort of vignette for her, and then you do the interview with RJ City, and then you know what I mean? But at least make her feel kind of important, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
At least like give some sort of presentation and put a little bit of thought and effort into it. Which I thought this just lacked, like her just showing off with backstage with RJ City with no real like no pomp and circumstance like whatsoever, and I'm not saying that the lights had to go off and she had to show up in a fucking Sheeda segment, like I was just saying. I think that would have been a disservice to her as well. But there's happy mediums, man. There's happy mediums. I don't think this was terrible, So I'm optimistic.
The liberals
I'm
will not be
optimistic
able to
tomorrow.
silence me. I don't care.
It'll keep coming back.
How hard they work on the internet in my building. I don't care. I don't care how many times Monty throws me off the stage. I won't be silenced. I'm correct. Speaking of Jade Cargill, where's she at? It's been like a month. I haven't seen her. WWE forgot she's been employed already. I'm just saying.
Have they?
Many people are saying this, Monty. Many people are saying this.
I've seen a couple of people being like, "Oh, but what's Jade doing now?" Like she's actually been forgot about.
But I will, in actual good faith, though, I will say, I don't understand this timeline of events. Like the announcement, sure, putting her on screen. Like obviously she's at the PC training, but to put her on and then the disappearing and just not being around for however, like if it is a month or whatever, I don't get what they're cooking there. But that's their problem. They're the ones paid to figure that shit out.
Someone said in the show, "Oh, we're not even talking about the promo." Like, bro, we haven't got. Look, we're gonna review Dynamite. It's just that someone brought up the chat, so we was talking about how she was presented in that space, not what she actually said. We'll get to it though. Brian Buster 499, appreciate you. Samoa Joe will beat MJF at World's End. I am speaking into existence. I'm gonna join you. Will Chisholm $5. Big AO is going to be nasty next year when we see Julia is all WWE. I may cry.
Hey man, I'm a DDM stan. I'm a Julia stan. It is what it is. That's what she wants to do. That's what she wants to do.
Make some money, man.
Get your money. She deserves to be on a big stage. Rather it wouldn't be for the Axis powers, but
if what we hear rumblings about, like Triple H just kind of got like this chip on his shoulder of people thinking WWE just fail with Japanese talent and stuff and Joshi's and da 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 da, and if what we hear is true about him having a chip on his shoulder about that, and that's why he's like going so hard with like EO, bringing back Kyrie. Let's see how Asuka fits into this as well. If Julia can get in on that and gets benefit off it and she can get paid off it, then good for her, man. Because I think she has a really high ceiling in America. So, we'll see. We'll see what happens with her. According to Meltzer, her contract isn't up till 2024 March. So
by March 2024.
It's still a while, man. That Pitbull $2. Ayo, who's that?
I think that was said when my dog was here.
Oh, God.
That was so funny.
We got a good laugh, chat.
God.
Red Rider Drive for 99, appreciate you. Shout out the brand as always. Price of TKO brick is not up.
Yeah. Many are saying TKO could go under tonight. Many people are saying, I'm not. Many people are saying it, bro.
Many people.
I'm just
Wall Street experts saying this. Matt McClure, $2. Is this lad for real? Why is AO on this stream now? Because he's one of the
because I helped build this channel, you fucking cocksucker. That's why.
He's an EVP, brother. You can only get those. You're lucky paying us, slandering EVPs as brand. Average foodie 40 rupees. Mariah May did career suicide by joining AEW. That's a very, very strong opinion. I would have
average
to
foodie,
disagree.
Bro. You're not doing your brothers over there in South Asia any how do I say this? There's a reputation that y'all just love WWE to the death. Bro. And you're supporting the allegations. You're not helping fight the allegations that y'all are Fed merchants.
Will Chisholm, $2, appreciate it. Vince had a pay-per-view about a golden egg.
Oh my God, I forgot.
That was a great pay-per-view.
That's so dumb.
What if MJF's secret partner is his co-star Zac Efron? That'd
be hilarious.
What about Jeremy Allen? Jeremy Allen White was talking about Graps. He was laying it out for the people earlier. If you haven't seen the clip, putting over Chavo Guerrero.
Mm-hmm.
I actually didn't watch that clip. Was it worth watching, Monty?
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, look, he actually I won't say he gets it, or, you know, he was just acting, but as much as like an actor of his level doing a film about wrestling, it was quite nice to see him at least try, you know.
Yeah.
Reggie $5 Australian, I think that is. Need Jeremy Allen White and Zac Efron reacting to Okada versus Omega for real.
You know?
The Arrow $2. Lexis King, you have failed this city. Damn.
Yo, look,
go on.
Our hopes for Brian Pillman Jr. were low, but who knew that it would get this bad this soon?
But you didn't like the promo about being sick and twisted.
I just haven't watched the clip because, like, I watched 2 seconds of the clip from NXT and it gave me the ick immediately, so I just did not watch it.
It feels like a rib, bro. Like,
he's just bad, isn't he?
Showdown Spurs $2. Where's Jade been, Monty? Well, she hasn't been on screen for about a couple of weeks. I believe she is training in the PC. Rumblings, I've heard. Rumblings. This isn't me reporting anything. It's just rumblings, rumors. This isn't anything sources, quote unquote, told me. But you know, it's not like she was coming in as a 4 or 5 star worker. You know, so seems like there's some work for her to do in the PC. I don't think they're going to keep her there too much longer though. I think, you know, she's still getting mentioned on commentary as well, so it's not like she's out of what's the word I'm looking for? You know, like she's not completely out of picture. Like she was mentioned during the world title match, you know, the other day at Crown Jewel. So she's been mentioned, but she hasn't been seen on screen for about 2 weeks or something now. It's really not that long, but of course, with the way she was presented, with her being such a big deal, the ESPN rollout, you know what I mean? It seemed like her coming out and attacking Becky Lynch, Rhea Ripley, or something like that felt somewhat imminent, and obviously that hasn't been the case yet because it seems like they're taking a minute. I'm not saying it's perfect either. I ain't saying that's perfect either. Bruh, $4.99, appreciate you. This way helped Mariah avoid the floating around treatment swerve, but after he just walked out and saw Mariah gets into a story right away. Well, there was other way you could have done this other ways as well, but that wasn't the only way you could get Mariah May to mention Toni Storm. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But
I don't think that's a good Swerve's a good example of somebody just being premiered because he went out there, he signed a contract, it was star treatment. The entire arena was chanting Swerve's house. He had a title match. The following week that he was supposed to win, but Ricky Starks cried. WrestlePurists exclusive. Ricky refused the job, but I like the way he started floating like a couple months after he debuted. But I don't think you floated right away. I don't think that's a good example.
A different take. £10. Appreciate you, brother. Full Gear 2023. Max is in the ring after beating Jay White. The lights go out. The devil beats the shit out of Mask. I think that's meant to say Max. Grabs the title and takes his mask off, and you hear on commentary, "Oh my God, that's Danhausen." That's disgusting, bro.
Let me tell you.
You know that's disgusting.
Let me tell you this right now, and I'll put it on my mother's life, so you know I'm serious. I would be done with All Elite Wrestling if that happened. All right, done.
You can say that with confidence because it's so ludicrous.
It's all right. We all know it's David Finlay and the War Dogs.
Oh my God, not this. Wheelchairs on $5. Wheelchairs on $5. It is weird that it feels like Stardom's higher ups don't like AEW. It just feels like there's some beef there. I don't think there's beef there. I just don't think Rossi and the rest of the guys are like rushing to give AEW a bunch of their talent. Do you know what I mean? Like, especially right now when they've got so many injuries. I know obviously the injuries is more of a recent thing, and AEW's been around for 4 years, so obviously that's not an excuse for the whole time. But I think if you're Rossi and you're sitting there and you're like, what do we really get out of it? Do you know what I mean? Of course, you get some exposure. Yeah, you get some exposure, but
it goes back to, I mean, New Japan has reported that working with AEW has done a lot of good business for them, like on their streaming wise, states wise. Not as good as if
AEW didn't exist, and then they were able to do their U.S. expansion. But they were like, it's been very positive. It's been very positive exposure for them on like all metrics. That's what they reported when Bushiroad was doing their earnings call. But the thing, like we said earlier, TK doesn't give a fuck, bro. He doesn't care about stardom. And Rossi's like, we're doing our own thing over here too. So it's like TK's not picking up the phone and being like, oh my god, when can I get Rossi? When can I get Julie over here? He doesn't care, bro. He doesn't care. And then Rossi also doesn't care. So it's just two people that don't care, just not having to care of. You know what I'm
saying? Yeah. Average food 100 rupees. He said, I really want a good women's division in AEW, but I'm getting hate on facts. And always, I'm not a WWE fan. I want more women just like Impact and NXT's thing. I mean, NXT does do a good job with the women. I know they kind of get praised for it every day, it seems, on Twitter. Impact, they've been getting praised for the women's knockouts division for years now. So,
yeah.
I watched one of these NXT episodes with my little brother Rob, bro, with Sir Paragraph of WrestlePurists. I watched one of these NXT episodes. Featured 5 women's matches. Monty, do you know how many of those 5 women's matches were any good?
It's developmental though, man, especially with the women.
So why are you telling me that I need to watch this? Or this needs to happen?
I think it's more of a like how they're positioned and the amount of like focus and care that they get. It's like, okay, like the women themselves aren't great workers. Like, you're not going to get stardom level matches in NXT. You're not going to get it. You're not even going to get a quarter of that quality. You know, a lot of the matches are kind of clunky, green, bad. But every now and again, you know, you'll get a Tiffany Stratton. You'll get in there with someone like a Sol Ruka. You'll be like, well, hold on a minute. You know?
Keyshawn's in the chat saying this dude hates WWE, but guess what? Rob, who loves WWE with his entire life, said one of the 5 matches was good. Monty, I believe I spoke to him after that show. He said he was like 2 of them were acceptable, or like 1.
Which one?
So it's like it was literally like within the last month or so. It was during like the breakouts.
They've done that a few times where they have like 4 or 5 women's matches on the show. So.
None of them. Bro, if you did that on Dynamite, I'm not watching it, bro. Like, I'm all for equality in all forms, whether it be race, gender, sexuality. Bro, I'm not here to watch bad wrestling in the name of equality.
In the name of developmental women's wrestling.
I am a very proud black man. This goes back to the 2019 AEW discussions when they were like, where are these black workers at the top of the card? Where are they? Why are there no black workers main eventing Full Gear? Do you know who AJ Gray said should main event Full Gear? Pineapple fucking Pete, because that's who was available, bro. So like the AEW can't put on 3-4 matches, women's matches every. Can they do better? Absolutely. It's not great. It's not even good right now. Yeah. I'm not claiming the women's division is good. It's not, bro. But to say follow the NXT model, that's 5 matches a night and the matches are bad. You can't do that anyway. Oh my god! Clap. You know what I mean? Oh, like no, bro. Like I don't want to watch that.
Yeah, no, you can't. AEW couldn't follow NXT's model. Obviously, if you're just talking like more women, like yeah, of course you can do that. But like in terms of like that actual model, yeah, of course you come from the NXT model because it's a developmental territory, so you get away with a lot more. You know what I mean? Like I just said, it's, you know, you put green women to get against each other, try and agent it and help them through the match as much as you can, and people give them leeway with it because they're green and they're developing talents. And like I said, every now and again, you'll come across a Sol Ruka, a Tiffany Stratton. They'll sign someone like Roxanne, and you'll see her develop even more. And you know, there's plenty of women that I'm a big scout. You know, that's kind of one of the reasons why I actually even bother watching NXT. It's one of the only reasons why I enjoy it is like being able to scout the new talent and seeing who's actually making progress and stuff like that. I'd be the same if it was AEW. Like if AEW had like a full-on developmental, like the AEW PC, you know. I'd be the same with them, man, because that element does pop me about it. I think obviously a better blueprint to follow would be the Knockouts division. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I
the top of because their women get a lot of focus. There's a lot of good workers in the division. Sometimes the women's stories. Sometimes the women's stories.
It's not just oh my god,
year.
they have all these matches. It's the knockouts get a lot of focus. They get stories. They're treated like the top stars in the company. That is absolutely a model that AEW could
100%.
follow. But I just this focus on the amount of matches a night. I think it's disingenuous. I don't think oh my god, there's 2 matches a night now. Everything's cured. No, bro, because there's 4 or 5 men's matches a night in AEW, and there's times where the AEW fucking sucks, bro. Dynamite's terrible. So obviously it's not the number of matches that matters.
You can't simplify it down to just a number. Whether it's how long. When people, we've all moaned on these podcasts about like the stopwatch fans.
Yeah.
And even if it's just a number of matches on the guys, that doesn't make the numbers meaningless. But if you just relegate it down to just stats and figures, it kind of, it's there's a lot of gaps. There's a lot of logical gaps in that. But yeah, man, Impact Knockouts division is great, man. There's been times where the top stories in the Knockouts division over like the past 12 months or even further back than that has been like a lot more interesting with what they're doing with the Impact World title. So.
I would say that since around 2020, that's probably the norm, honestly. Impact's main event scene does not interest me whatsoever, bro. I don't care.
Yeah, ever since they the belted up Moose,
Moose used to pop, man. Bro. I was a sicko. Maybe it's because he's Nigerian. I don't know.
I can't deal with Moose, bro.
He used to pop me.
He's a piece of shit as well.
No, yeah.
So, anyway, right, Dwight, $4.99. Monty, book my flight to the UK.
Oh, no.
Can't wait to see you. Nando's on there. All right, Dwight, because it's $4.99 and it's your first time mentioning my name in one of these ludicrous super chats, I'll bring it up. You try that shit any bro. Mention Ibu, mention Rob, mention any of the other guys. You see me, it will not make it to the screen, bro. If you mention me again. D-Money. Send Richard to Stanford, please. Ayo's working on it, I think.
Give him a red card. I will take the drones celebrating. Oh my god, we got another one. We got a star. I'll take it. Get him out of the company I love, please.
Speaking of Richard, as Ayo calls him, Ricky Starks, $4.99. Appreciate it. The only person I would lay down flat in the ring for is my Ibu.
Oh, we know. We know.
This is another crazy one. $5 from that Pitbull. Appreciate you. Woof, Monty scouting in the NXT Women's Division like I'm scouting the Dalmatian.
Oh, leave my dogs alone.
Hey, man.
She's just a baby. She's not. She's like 9 years old.
Monty's got an eye for talent, for up-and-coming talent when it comes to NXT Women's Division. I can't cut.
Hey, man. All right, let's
They're saying
get into
in
this.
chat that people are reporting that the bunny has parted ways with AEW.
Yeah, it seemed that way because I think recently I seen like one of the, I don't want to call them clickbaity, but one of the wrestling sites that just post anything. One of them posted like the bunny has just started an OnlyFans, and I was like, okay. Oh. And then Sean tweeted the screenshot of the roster. She's no longer on the roster page. So I'm just flicking through the news here.
That's all right to the bunny.
Yeah.
The bunny departs AEW according to PWInsider.com. PWInsider.com report that the bunny has departed All Elite Wrestling. So best of luck to her. Pretty decent wrestler, So I'm sure she'll find some stuff to do.
She'll be back in Impact. I know they killed her, but she'll be back.
No, I was skimming through to her, and the Impact page is literally tweeted like she died. I was just like, what the fuck? I had to read the tweet like 4 times before I understood what they were saying. I was like, oh my god.
Resurrection incoming?
Probably.
I like the bunny. She's no one that I'm like demanding to see every week or anything like she needs pushing like you. But she was She was inoffensive for the most part, you know.
I enjoyed her
really
in
cool
plunder
stuff
matches.
with the plunder matches. I was about to say she did really good stuff in those.
Yeah, man, she's game in that sense, you know.
Mm-hmm.
She'll run a blade, brother, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, best of luck to her. Man. Not a bad wrestler at all.
No.
But yeah, AEW Dynamite. All right, then, let's get into it. Like I said, very, very much a different mood than we was in last week doing this Thursday review. AO wasn't even here. He lost his smile. He backed out.
Smile,
you
man.
know, he took his ball and went on.
Rob, you got it. I took my ball and went home. I said, Rob, bro, you gotta tap in with me. I said in the WrestlePurists Twitch chat, I was like, I'm not doing this shit. Monty, I had heat with the front office. Monty started to communicate with him.
He didn't cancel the office.
With the front office about it, bro.
He just left
Monty,
the building like
Monty,
Lesnar when Vince left.
Monty tried to treat me like Stone Cold. He tried to get Chuck up here to just bury me live on air. But I'm back, brother. I'm back. The commander of the Elite Fleet is back.
He's back, and we are back to review AEW Dynamite, which kicked off with a MJF backstage interview. He's interviewed by Tony Schiavone. He's asked about taking the pin last week from Jay White. He says, he vows, in fact, that MJF will never be pinned again by Jay White, and that feat will not be repeated at Full Gear. He's then called via video call by Adam Cole. He pulls it up on the screen, and he basically just says, it sucks that I can't be there, bro, and I think you should take Samoa Joe's offer or really think about it to defend the ROH tag titles versus the Guns. Then he's interrupted by Daniel Garcia. They get in each other's face, of course, building towards the match that's about to kick off. And MJF basically says that tonight, am I getting the sports entertainer? He does the Daddy Magic voice, which he does a pretty good impression of.
Mm-hmm.
Or am I getting Daniel Garcia, the professional wrestler? Daniel Garcia steps forward and he says, you're getting the professional wrestler. And, yeah, man. That's not definitely. Oh, yeah, Roddy Strong as well. Roddy Strong, as always, with these MJF Adam Cole segments, he kind of wills himself in towards the end, and he's like Adam or Max, and he wants to be involved. He wants some love, and he's not getting it, Charlie. He's not getting it. But he did say, where is it? He's had enough, and he said he's going to remind the world who he really is.
A
professional wrestling legend.
God bless.
Yeah, I'm ready,
bro.
Yeah,
I miss you, Roddy.
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Remember how excited I was for this character shit when it started, Monty? I was all for it. Remember?
Yeah.
I was bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, just a young, dumb kid. 2 months later, now look at me.
Grew a beard,
please
in a mess, in a gutter somewhere. It's tough, man. It's tough, bro. Roddy's he's Charlie. We just want to see Roddy wrestle, don't we?
Yeah, man. I'm tired of this gimmick.
I'm not even tired of the gimmick. He could have kept doing this in wrestling and kept being a chicken shit heel. Not chicken shit, but being like pretending to be hurt. Like
just what he done in the tournament.
He came to the ring. He hit the jumping knee. And then he went right back into the wheelchair, like, oh my god, you could have been doing this the whole time, bro. He wrestled that one match. He took off the neck brace. Then afterwards, that he had the Kingdom put the neck brace back on, and he was selling it even though he was perfectly fine. Like, we could have been doing this the whole time, and we just didn't, for whatever reason.
Yeah, but
Java in the chat said the gimmick's fine, but the pre-house tapes were not good. Those made me want to self-harm. Those.
Yeah, you got.
They were bad.
You got very tough. You got very, very tough.
Those were really bad.
All right, show opener, AEW World Championship. MJF, the champion, successfully defends by defeating Daniel Garcia. This was an interesting match, I thought. Very interesting in the way that I thought they approached it. Particularly MJF, because, of course, he led large segments of this match, and you could imagine that he was the guy that kind of put a lot of this together. I thought they struggled for a clear face and heel dynamic, and MJF's version of trying to overcome this was when he was working on top, he was just screaming dialogue, bro. He was trying to get he's trying to get the crowd to start different chants, and he's just like, again, he's just screaming dialogue, like he was just being very heavy-handed with it, you know, like you could tell that he was trying to get the crowd to like believe in Daniel and try to get him a bit more over with the crowd and stuff, and almost trying to babyface him whilst he was the babyface working on top. It was such a weird dynamic. I didn't think the crowd really bought into Daniel Garcia going with this approach, and I do think that if they got given a little bit more time and they took a different approach and just let Daniel Garcia wrestle his way into the crowd believing him, I think that would have worked out a lot better than what they went with. Because if I'm being brutally honest, as much as I really wanted to like this match, I just did not think it was good. I thought the approach was wrong.
I like both wrestlers.
Absolutely.
And,
but, MJF was clearly trying to do something. I thought he was just being so heavy-handed with it, you know. Like I said, he was literally screaming dialogue, bro. Like, you know, you'd have Garcia and Armbar, you'd be like, come on, Danny. You know, it's just like, oh, man. You know, like, but yeah, man, the match was never really allowed to develop into the match that would have made the crowd believe into Garcia a bit more organically. That being said, the crowd did react a little bit more than what they started with towards Garcia after all the work that MJF put in. But then that meant that we didn't get much of a real closing stretch because the match time wasn't... I don't know why they weren't given a bit more time with this one either, you know, to really develop into
15
something.
Minutes even, bro. Like,
yeah, man,
what are we doing here, bro? Like,
it felt
there's so much hype around this match, at least on social media. Like, let me see bell to bell. I'm gonna go to cage match.
Yeah, he definitely, whatever it was definitely like within like 13, 15 minutes or something like that. But it just felt abrupt. Like there was no real closing stretch to it or anything, you know. Ibu said it on Twitter, you know, I'll invoke the name of Backup Hangman here, but it was like MJF was trying to forcibly right the ship of Garcia's recent shitty booking, basically. Yeah. And it almost at times made him look like a bit of a charity case. Like I said, it was just simply not good, even though I was expecting and really, really hoping this would be great. It was worked well on a technical level, but it was just the wrong approach.
The wrestling itself, there was nothing wrong with the wrestling itself. Yeah. The approach to the match, the structure, I really did not. 10, oh my God.
That's crazy.
Do you want to elaborate a bit more? What did you think of the match? Because I think I just kind of ranted a little bit about.
Yeah, bro. So like, obviously, it's no secret. We're all three of us are big fans of Daniel Garcia. And when it comes to bell to bell, at least all three of us enjoy MJF a lot. But it's just like this match, bro. Last night when I was watching on the Twitch watch along, I said I was underwhelmed, but I liked the match. This morning I rewatched it while I was at work. I fucking hate this match, bro. I don't think it should have been a showcase for Daniel Garcia. It wasn't. MJF is the top babyface in AEW right now, but he's approached it in a way where he's still not a good person, but he's a bad person that you could root for. I think he should have approached the match last night that DG was beneath him and let DG get his shit off on him. It was really just like this kind of felt like the MJF like ROH tag team title matches where they're just like not even serious matches. You know what I mean? Like they're just kind of like people out there fucking around, bro. Like all like the sportsmanship shit, like all that shit. It was just like
it was just shouting at the crowd.
Come on, bro. MJF loves getting the crowd to chant something. And I get it. It probably feels amazing in the arena, but like when you're forcing them to do it, like it's shit for the at home audience, bro. Like it's 5K people watching at home, and it's 2 million people watching. It's 5K people watching the arena. It's 2 million people watching at home, whether it be cable, pirating, overseas. Like we don't care, bro. Like we don't care that they're chanting sportsmanship. Bro, like we don't give a fuck, and like, just I really wanted to love that match. I really wanted to. Monty calls me a 5-star merchant on the spreadsheet. I wanted to be able to throw down a 5, bro. wanted to, bro. But I didn't like the match at all, and it pains me to say that. They obviously have a much better match in them. And I hope we get that down the road. But last night wasn't it, unfortunately.
Yeah, they just struggled with the face heel dynamic, and MJF's approach to dealing with that didn't do Daniel Garcia any favors when this was. When you look at the graphic, was supposed to be, like you said, like a showcase match for Garcia again to remind people, like the reminder match, you know.
Is, bro.
But yeah, MJF took a lot of it. Of course, like he's the champion, he's the biggest star. Like, of course, he took a lot of it, but he took a lot of it on top, and he was doing a lot of the stuff that we just criticised about the match. And it wasn't, like Garcia getting a bunch of shine and showing what he can do and going back and forth with it. Like, there wasn't enough of that. Charlie, where do you find yourself on it?
I thought some of the work was like pretty good, and it felt like they were trying to structure it in a way where it left fans wanting more, but they didn't even give enough for us to want more, because it was just like, oh, this is like,
it's just like, all right,
nothing what we expected. It's like, all right, then, like, why should I want another match? Obviously, I do want another match because I like both of them a lot as wrestlers, but like for a general audience member, they're gonna be like, they're not going to care if they wrestle again now because of the match was just kind of there. 100%. So it was a bit of a disappointment, but I do hope they have a rematch at some point and they actually have time and a better structure and less of the playing to the crowd, because the crowd's going to get behind them both anyways. They do in every other single segment they have. So I don't know. I don't know why Max felt the need to lean so heavy into it. It was weird. It had really weird vibes.
Yeah, like I said, it's just not what I was looking for from the match.
Yeah.
It's like, who am I to kind of, say that if I would have worked with Daniel Garcia last night, I would have done it, you know what I mean? But, yeah, man, interesting approach by MJF on that one.
You mentioned this, right? Like, MJF obviously took this match because he hears the fans on Twitter clamoring for DG to do more. And MJF himself, like, not to peel back the curtain, but when we interviewed MJF for WrestlePurists, backstage, MJF put over DG huge. He really believes in him as a talent. But if you just watch that match, right, it just felt like another guy on the roster that he was like, all right, got another title defense off. I'm that nigga. On to the next. Like, so it's just like Anjan in the chat brought up Dante Martin versus Hangman Page, that title defense. I loved that match, bro, because it made Dante look like somebody who's going to be a real future player in the company while Hangman still came off looking amazing and stuff. Dante was able to get his shit in, able to get some high spots in, had the crowd popping huge, and then they shook hands. And then it was a big deal. The fans in the arena erupted. The people on Twitter loved it. Like, I wanted that type of moment out of this match, and we just didn't get it. And 2.0, y'all gotta fuck off, bro. I'm sorry.
Bro, Danny should have walked away from him last night. Like, give us something.
Give us something. Like, at least,
I think it's getting there. It's just taking too long, isn't it? Because they are planting the seeds that Garcia's like agitated and annoyed by them, blah blah blah. But he's just like it's taking a bit long for him to get there.
How many times have been planted and it's just like, oh, actually, let's unplant these seeds and everything's fine.
So keep digging it out, bro.
And we do trios until July. Actually, like, how many times does that happen? So,
I don't know, man. It's funny how like Charlie said that. Even if it was like, they were holding back and wanted to see more, like that actually made me want to see more, but out of frustration because I know they can have a better match. Like I know they can do better than what they did last night.
And like that's all well and good for the hardcores, but like the people that just watch AEW on like a week-to-week basis, but they're not overly invested, they're not going to care if they wrestle on pay-per-view. Like,
the timing as well, like, we can talk about the MJF's like approach to the match as we assume that he was the person who kind of led it, like, clearly, but at the same time, like, if he was actually told that, like, yo, you're only getting 10 minutes with him, then that obviously would fuck with your ideas, and like I said, it's kind of The approach,
Who tells
of course,
MJF he's
seems
only getting 10 minutes though, bro?
yeah.
Like, this is the 30-minute promo segment merchant himself. Who tells MJF he's only getting 10 minutes?
10 minutes.
I don't know, man, but who knows? Yeah, it was a weird one, man. It was definitely a weird one. Like I said, I can kind of understand if he was if his approach was his way of dealing with the weird face heel dynamic and kind of trying to get the crowd to get behind Daniel Garcia a bit and trying to work the crowd that way. But I think he just needed a bit more patience with it, which obviously that's why I bring up the match time, because if he was told, "Oh, yo, you're only getting 10 minutes," which I doubt he was, then obviously that changes everything, doesn't it, with his approach. But yeah, I know they can do better than this, Anyway, fucking Mark Briscoe, get a vignette. He's previewing his match later tonight with Jay White, and it's pretty hard to like seeing Briscoe talk, bro. He can do it. He's one of those people that I'd watch do anything on a wrestling show, like commentary, promo, vignette, anything, bro. Like anything with Mark Briscoe.
Player, brother.
I'm down. One of the best in the business, brother. Darby Allin and Sting defeated the Outrunners. This was a squash. Good vibes.
I enjoyed that more than I thought I would. Maybe it was just because of seeing Darby and Sting. I love them as a tag team. I obviously love Sting. I don't know anything about the Outrunners, but the way I look at them and I just fucking hate them, Monty. Like I just
They're from OVW, man.
I just look at them, Monty, and I'm like, I fucking hate these guys. But they did their jobs last night. So I liked the squash. It wasn't bad at all.
Yeah, Charlie, good vibes, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was alright. It was a decent squash. They bumped well. Yeah. There's not a whole lot more to say about it, to be honest.
Yeah, there wasn't. It literally went like 30 seconds or something. So
yeah.
Shida and Tony, they had a segment. It's in black and white because that's Tony Storm aesthetic now. Tony Storm's very committed. Very, very committed. Can't fault that part of it, bro.
I love everything about the timeless Tony Storm shit, except for like the soundless picture stuff. I don't like that at all.
The silent films.
And the silent pictures. I just look at my phone during those. But like when she's doing literally anything else, I'm dialed in, brother. I love it.
Yeah, speak for yourself. But yeah, you see, I think they signed the contract here, didn't they, for Full Gear?
Yeah, they signed the contract.
But yeah, Tony Storm told Shida to watch out for the shoe. Shida watched out for the shoe, smacked out a hand. They got in each other's faces, and we've got a Full Gear match. We have a Full Gear women's title match, people.
So Monty, I know the gimmick in general. It's got its ups and downs with you. What did you think of this segment? You didn't like this?
It was fine. I didn't hate or love it, to be honest. There wasn't a lot to it, to be honest, bro. There wasn't a lot to it. As far as Tony Storm's recent segments go, it probably lands in the better half because some of them have been, but like, yeah. What I was thinking yesterday when I was actually watching it, like, with Shida, this isn't really about Tony Storm or even like about the match. It's more just like broadly speaking about Shida as champion. She's been AEW World Champion 3 times.
Yes.
She's always someone that they go to when they kind of seemingly in a hole with the division perception wise. They always go back to Shida. She'll have good matches, and then she'll drop to whoever they probably already wanted with the belt in the first place, But Shida's been a very important part of the AEW women's division, but I just feel like we don't know that much about her as a character on AEW television. A character doesn't have much depth to it at all. And I know there's the language barrier, but she has actually came along quite a lot with her English over the time she's been in AEW.
Her English isn't bad at all. She speaks better English than Manny. And he was fucking born here, bro. So like, I do agree. Yeah. There's not a lot of depth to Hikaru Shida. Like,
yeah.
if you ask somebody who she is, you'd be like, oh, she's the.
Yeah, she's just like a
She's a girl who
prideful
wrestles well.
wrestler,
She's a cool girl
you
that wrestles
know?
well.
Yeah, so I was trying to think of like times where they have really like tried to show like some personality or even just some like character depth or like, you know, character setting with she, you know.
They
Remember
like,
the start of the
try to
year?
like show her as like a ass kicker who won't take any shit though. They do that, but beyond that, it's not really.
Yeah, I mean they've done the stuff at the start of the year. You know, like when she was showing like signs of like being uncomfortable, or it might have been jealousy. Like when they were doing the stuff with like when everyone thought Mercedes was coming in before that big tag match, and it was like, "Oh, will she? Won't she?" And there was all like that sort of stuff. Like, you know, but other examples, I can't really think of them really trying to develop her as like a TV character on screen.
She does a whole lot of run-ins.
Yeah.
She just appears at the ring sometimes.
Runs in, beats some ass, has a good match.
Yeah.
Mm.
Damn.
Well, yeah, she still rules.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
I love.
We're not slandering her. She's great.
If anything, I'm slandering her the way that AEW presents her.
Yeah, 100%.
Yes.
She's definitely dropping it at Full Gear. Like I'm as sure that she's dropping it at Full Gear as I am as MJF retaining at Full Gear.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'll feel different next week, but I've said from as soon as like Tony was starting to get really popular with this like recent character change. But they shouldn't put the belt on. They shouldn't take the belt off Sheeta to go to her with what she's currently doing right now. I don't think
she needs the belt right now, bro. Like I know they're gonna do like this whole understudy. Eventually, Mariah May overtakes the master thing, but that doesn't have to start right now, bro. Like,
no.
Like the things that Tony's doing are all very possible away from the belt, and then Sheeta can continue having banger matches and stuff like that. You know.
Yeah,
it's more thought that TK put into all of it. So,
I'll ask a little super chat. Read that off real quick. Shout out on Spurs, $5. Appreciate you. Shout out to the Bunny. That street fight is still one of my favorite matches in company history. Yeah, man, good stuff. That was good stuff.
Funny thing about that New Year's Eve street fight, I never saw it till like 2 months ago, bro. Because I was out, and then TK like tainted that episode with the whole Big Swole saga. So I was just like, that episode of Rampage is radioactive. So I kind of stayed away from it. Now I was like, oh yeah, this did happen. I just watched it. I enjoyed that match a lot. It's fun.
Yeah, man. Well, yeah, keep the super chats coming. We'll get to them when we can. Next up on Dynamite, Swerve defeats Penta. We'll talk about the match first, and we'll get into the angle, which got me fired up after. But yeah, Swerve defeated Penta, and this was good, man. Up until this part of the show, this was the best match on the show. I thought it was better than the opener. Of course, it goes without saying, but it was better than the squash match with Sting and Darby. Yeah, man, the crowd did get into this as well. The crowd, and they were moving out there. Ayo,
what's gotten into Penta lately, bro? Since when did he start caring about TV matches?
Got to be with the right person.
When did he stop taunt spamming? When did he start working his ass off on television matches, bro? Like,
I don't know, but it's been great.
This Penta run I've loved. Obviously, I'm a huge Swerve Strickland fan. I really enjoyed this match. Both of them were able to showcase what they could do. Fans were really into it. It drew well. Check them numbers, baby. Outdrew the world champ.
I need to see the quarter hours.
Oh yeah, I was supposed to send those to y'all. I got y'all. But outdrew the world champ. The people love Swerve, bro. The people love Swerve and Nana. The people have always loved Penta. They went out there. They did what they had to do. I enjoyed that match a lot.
Charlie, you liked the match?
I did. They have great chemistry, which is like not shocking at all. But Swerve has this style of wrestling. He's so unique in the ring, and sometimes you can tell it doesn't really click with who he's wrestling. But him and Penta, they killed it out there, man. Like, I don't know. There was a whole lot of stuff in that match. I was just like, this is my type of wrestling. Like, they fucking killed it. Like, the Canadian Destroyer on the apron was kind of crazy. But no, I love this. And honestly, I hope Rey Fenix gets well soon and that he's recovering well. But these Penta singles matches, man, they should probably keep them going because it's been great.
I feel like since Swerve has gained like the 30 pounds, I don't know if that's kayfabe 30, but he's obviously gained a large amount of weight and started like working more heel. The styles clash issues with some of the less refined workers that don't really know how to like take his moves. I feel that's dissipated. I haven't seen it
there's been
in a while. Like obviously he's like he's a lot higher in the card now, so he's wrestling a lot better wrestlers. Like it's not Ricky Starks trying to take like Swerve's moves, but
Ricky and Swerve did not have
good
chemistry,
man. No?
But they did not have good chemistry in the ring.
You know, but yeah, but like I was saying, like ever since he started like working heel and stuff, he's like I feel this like stylistically, I haven't seen like the compatibility issues with like the lower tier workers. Like I remember like he tried to do like all like the I don't even know what to call his style, but like just the Swerve style with like the Butcher, and he just didn't know how to take any of it. And I was just like, all right, like this is kind of an issue right here. This is but that hasn't happened in a minute. So
yeah, he's on a roll, man. He's on a roll. Big fan of the weight gain as well. But yeah, man. Swerve Strickland picks up the win, but finally, Hangman Adam Page with fire in his eyes. Finally, he's chasing down Swerve Strickland after a couple of weeks after he was literally in his house with his children. We have been needing this. We have been demanding this. A pissed off, rightfully pissed off, Hangman Adam Page gunning down for Swerve. And this is what he did. He runs down. He's got a chair. He's swinging it around. Swerve gets halfway up the ramp. There was no invisible wall at the bottom of the ramp.
Thought it was over when he got up the ramp. I chased that bastard. Heyman said, "No, get your black ass over here. Beat his ass with the chair." Then he beat security's ass. Yo, I ripped my shirt off. I was standing up, bro. There's few things in wrestling that I like more than fired up Hangman Adam Page, bro. Like when he goes psycho mode, bro. Like you can't tell me there's anything better in professional wrestling. I love that shit.
Yeah, man. This is I've been saying it for a minute, but this is the Hangman Adam Page that AEW needs right now. You know, this is the Hangman Adam Page that Hangman needs to be for himself. You know, and this, like I said, just very much the same. I always say it's like when I see Hangman flick that switch, I get fired up, bro. I get fired up. I get behind him. Do you know what I mean? And like we were saying, he chases Swerve up the ramp, smacking him with the chair, and then he gets him. Basically, puts him through 2 tables with a dead eye off his face.
Dead eye, 2 tables, bro.
Yeah, man.
Good shit. They need to put a stipulation on this match.
It's happening.
They absolutely have to.
Is this the end of the feud though? Are we gonna do 2 and done?
I think it will be the end of the feud for now.
And then
they're gonna circle back to it with a title involved.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Yeah,
and I still think Hangman's losing.
Yeah,
I'm still 10 toes down on that.
So how does it play out from here, Charlie?
How does it play out from here?
Yeah, where's the shift in Hangman? You know, like what's we doing?
I'm gonna snipe Charlie real fast. You're not gonna like this, Monty. There's gonna be another Hangman find himself journey after this pay-per-view, brother.
But it's gonna be better because he's turning heel. I'm so dead convinced on him.
Can he be
turning
pissed
heel.
off and not sad? Do you know what I mean?
That's gonna be what happens. He's just gonna give in to the fact that, bro, something's clearly not working for him anymore. And he's just going to lose his shit a little bit. And it's going to be great. And I cannot fucking wait. And if he doesn't turn heel, I'm going to look like a dickhead because I've been saying it for months now.
You've been very strong. I've been very strong
on my opinions.
Very
normally,
strong.
when I stand 10 toes down on things like this, it usually happens eventually.
Man. He's a really good heel. He has been able to show it since Little Ring of Honor. Like
literally, like
time.
since like what 2016, so
Yeah.
2017, and he's a much better wrestler now.
Since that evil man, Cody Rhodes, tried to hypnotize him and put him under his ways. There's also some other adjectives that I could call Cody. I'm not gonna do it live on there. You know, he tried to
He's a
run
good
our Sweet
dude.
Boy Hangman. That was the last time he was healed.
I'm being called out in chat. You think he's gonna lose? Yes, bro. I've said this since before they even had the Wrestle Dream match that he's going to lose both matches.
You've been adamant on both those things. He's going to lose and he's going to turn heel eventually after. So maybe not immediately after, but some point after. Yo, Chris, what's good, brother?
Hi, Chris.
Hey, everyone.
It was good, Chris. But Hangman, like it was Hangman and Swerve going 1-1 here, and then going separate ways serves nobody. Like it does not doesn't develop Hangman. Him getting his win back from somebody who's been consistently lower on the card than him doesn't really do anything for him. And then Swerve's just like, what was all this for? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I feel like we got to do that definitive 2-0 sweep, move on, and then the third match we could be up in the air.
Yes.
Yeah. Chris, where are you?
What do you mean?
You sound like you're like, I don't know.
Oh, well, I'm in
I think you gotta turn your fan off, Chris.
All right, give me a second. Yeah, give me a second.
All right, Chris can deal with that. Dynamite. Buddy Club Gold interview. Jay White kind of just talks about MJF and talks about Mark Briscoe later tonight. We got Don Callis family vignette.
Real quick, Marlon. I gotta talk about this Jay White promo, cause he says what I'm thinking. Like MJF, bro. Like what you say about like Google Trends and all that? It's true. It's true.
What was it like? It was
on a wrestling promo. I don't care at all.
What was it that he actually said? He said, all he was like, no Google searches or graphs can make you any less insecure.
Bro. It's just like, bro, like whether like yes, in the real world, you're a bigger star. More people know who MJF is than they know who Jay White is. Google Trends chart goes crazy. Jay White's a flat line compared to you, all that. Yes, it's true, bro. Why do I, as a professional wrestling fan, give a singular fuck when y'all are fighting over gold, bro? Like, I don't care. Like, why are you telling me this?
Stuff. Yeah, you can get tough with him sometimes. We speak about it every time. Don Callis family vignette. It included clips from the Sega's Like a Dragon video game. Kenny Omega branded the upcoming street fight as a Like a Dragon street fight. So I don't know what that means, but you know, we know Kenny can get creative with these things. What was that, Chris?
Oh, I was saying Like a Dragon is a Sega property. It's like it's a video game.
It's a Yakuza game, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a Yakuza game. So I'm not surprised Kenny was like, yeah, let's get this video game street fight popping.
Yeah, we'll see how that all pops off. Next up, Golden Jets and Young Bucks backstage. The Golden Jets talk about their street fight upcoming next week, but after that, they are interrupted by the Young Bucks. And the Young Bucks, they have not been very fond of Chris Jericho being in and around their locker room and being friends with Kenny Omega and the Golden Jets getting together. They're just not fans of it at all, and have got good reason for it as well. But, Charlie, they are being little sassy pricks about it.
It's so bad.
But yeah, Jericho then went back and forth with the Bucks a little bit. The Bucks then challenged Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho to a match at Full Gear. And Kenny Omega was basically been Kenny Omega popped me because he was like, "We've done this before, we've been down this road before, done it with Ibushi, done it with Paige. You know what's going to happen,
Mm-hmm. I think I gotta keep teaching Kenny this lesson.
Yeah,
How many times?
bro. Every time the elite implodes or the elite like has drama, the Bucks are always the one who are right, bro. They were right to be mad at Hangman for costing the tag team title shot.
Hangman was
They were
being a
right
piece
to
of
be mad
shit,
at Kenny
objectively.
right fucking now. They were also back in the pandemic. They were mad at Kenny because Kenny was losing his fucking mind with the Good Brothers before they turned heel themselves. They've always been right when it comes to this like elite implodes and shit. But just because like what their attitude is, like, by the way, kayfabe, these niggas are supposed to like talk like fucking assholes. I don't get why people on Twitter don't get. Oh my god,
they get worked by it.
It definitely happens. But yeah,
before
so
we move on or anything,
no, we're not going to move on.
We need to address the elephant in the room. Anyone that was genuinely expecting this to be the Golden Lovers match, I need you to be so for real, because Ibushi is not ready. And you can tell by literally watching any of the appearances he's made in AEW matches so far. And I love Ibushi, and I would absolutely kill for that match to happen again. But not right now, because it's not going to be as good as you're expecting it to be. And everyone's just going to rip them to shreds online for it. So they're very smart for not running it. And Chris Jericho's had a great year, bar like 2 matches. So I'm excited for this.
Yeah, the Ibushi thing is very unfortunate. It's very clear to see. I think we see him in his multi-mans and his plunder matches so far, and it's like even in them where they're clearly trying to not ask too much of him. So even in them, I think you can tell that he's just like way off his normal pace, and he's so striking to see because Ibushi was genuinely like S tier. He wasn't just good, he wasn't just great, he was genuinely one of the best in-ring workers on the planet. So it's tough, man. It's very unfortunate.
I still think he could get back to great. His arm was turned into a chicken wing. I have no reason to believe that he can't do everything that he was doing before just because he fucked up his elbow, bro. Like, I have no reason.
His shoulder.
His shoulder. But like, I have no reason not to believe that. He's been out of the ring for 2 years. He came back. They threw him out there with Joey Janela. So that's like another like 6 months of rehab that you need after that. And it's just like, bro, like just let him shake the rust off, bro. Like I've seen improvement match to match. And I've seen maybe I'm being delusional, but I've seen improvement match to match. I think he's getting back. I think he's gonna get back on the juice too. That's gonna up his stats across the board. Kenny, share some of that secret sauce. Pause. But I think we'll get Kota Ibushi back. Like, I'm not saying we're gonna get 2016 Kota back, but I think he'll be a great professional wrestler again. Just not right now,
honestly would genuinely rather than wait for another year and because you can always circle back to this story. It's the elite. They do it all the time anyways.
Yeah.
But I would so much rather them put off rerunning this, because they're absolutely going to rerun it at some point. But you got to leave the memories alone sometimes. And I think it's a very smart booking decision, because as much as I bitch about, oh my God, Kenny Omega's stuck in the Jericho-verse right now, because I would rather him do anything else. If this is what they've come up with because of Ibushi isn't ready for that sort of match yet, then fair enough. You got to do what you got to do sometimes.
That's it. It's unfortunate, man. It's like, I know AO. He sees improvements match to match. I think one day he'll get to like a good level. As much as I'd like that, I'd love to see Ibushi go back to being Ibushi again. Like the Ibushi that we were seeing before he got injured, or even in the years prior before that. Because he did have quite a few injury problems in that last year or so. But he's just, I struggle, man. I don't.
Leg, Monty, I would be a doomer. I'd be like, bro, like his knee imploded. It is what it is. He's just not going to be Ibushi again. But it's his shoulder, bro.
I know, but it's like, okay, so he's definitely not in the shape that he used to be in. Like, he's not fat, but it's like he was in such fucking chiseled, incredible shape. You know what I mean? So like him not having like chiseled abs and shit anymore, he's like striking, even though he's not fat in any way, shape, or form. So there's that element to it. He's clearly not in the same physical condition. Obviously, his shoulder, I'm not sure how much that's affecting his actual overall physical condition. We've got to start working out in the gym and that from day to day to day, because I believe he said like it has affected that part of it as well. So there's that. There's bro, he was clearly like going through like, like I'm no psychiatrist, but things did get a bit weird with him when his time was out. Obviously, there was like the Yakuza tweets and like just sort of other things like that. So there's that element to it.
Yakuza. One man, samurai sword, took out the fucking Yakuza, and you're over here burying his wrestling, Monty. Shame on you're a piece of shit, bro. How do you sleep with yourself at night?
There's that as well, but also,
the Yakuza surrounded his mother's house. Ibushi armed with nothing but a samurai sword, killed every single one of them, and you're over here worried about some flips. Look at you, bro. You're disgusting.
Oh no, I'm terrible. But this was going to get to him. A big thing, should I say? One of the more significant points is why I think I'm actually very worried about whether Ibushi will ever get to a really good level again. Is because I think this AEW contract is pretty clearly like very limited dates. I think he's even said that as well. Limited dates. Yeah. I don't think he's ever going to get to a point where he's wrestling week in, week out and get all that raw stuff, And I just think he's not young either, right? Look, he's 40, bro.
Yeah, he's not a spring chicken. He's running to school now, so it's like, and he has his own ring, so it's like he's doing what he if his goal is to get back to where he was or close. He has the ability to do that, even if it's not in the AEW ring, because he has a school. He's training kids. Like he can obviously run through it. Like he knows what he needs to do. Isn't he self-trained? He trained himself back in the day. So it's so he knows what he needs to do to get back to where he was.
I hope so, man. I genuinely do, because I really enjoy Ibushi as a worker, man. I think he's phenomenal.
I will say, Ibushi at Blood and Guts and Ibushi at All In, it was looking scary. I was like, damn, he really might be cooked. But I thought he looked really good at Wrestle Dream. Like
in comparison to the first two, I agree.
Fucking prime Ibushi, like he's never getting back to that point. It is what it is with that. But I think we have yet to see him in a singles match. Put him in there with Takeshita, and I think we could get a really good match. Put him in there with like high-end workers, or even just squash matches. I think we see him, get to a point where he's one of the better wrestlers on the roster.
I'm very interested to see if we get a singles AEW match in 2024 from Kota Ibushi.
I think we will.
I think we will.
I think there's a very good chance. But I don't think it's a nailed-on definite. Because with the way that they've approached his booking so far, it's been very like, okay, they're definitely being cautious with this guy.
I was gonna tweet it out, but Takeshita just put out a quote like sometime this week. I think it was like Tuesday, and he was like, I am gonna wrestle Kota Ibushi again in a singles match, and it will be, and the only place that can happen is the AEW ring. He was basically like, we've evolved past DDT. Like, he didn't bury the promotion, but he was just like, this needs to happen in AEW. So I think Takeshi's gonna push for that. I think Ibushi's gonna push for that. I think Kenny's gonna push for that. It'll happen.
Yeah. I hope so.
It was just something that needed to be talked about, because I saw way too much fake outrage on Twitter, because these are the same people that would cry when the match doesn't live up to their expectations. So, like, bro, you just got to be realistic about wrestling sometimes. I love Kota Ibushi. Like, it's just not happening at this point.
Bro, the Big Show's one of Chris's goats. When he came out there a couple weeks ago looking crazy, Chris cooked him. It is what it is. You got to be honest about your goats, bro.
Yeah, 100%. You gotta be even about. Those are the wrestlers that you gotta be honest about the most.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like, the ones that like. Let's say if we've got favorite wrestlers and our fan base knows that, and they know we're going to talk about certain wrestlers, so they want to hear us talk about certain wrestlers because they think we're either bigger fans of them or more knowledgeable about them or whatever. But like, not saying we have a responsibility. We just do dumb wrestling podcasts, but. You want to at least be genuine, You don't want to just like put someone over for the sake of putting someone over. It's like we've done it earlier with Garcia and MJF. Like, I know we've all been very happy to criticise MJF because that kind of comes with being the top guy and with how positioned he's been. Like, I think he's more than capable of taking criticism. But Garcia, especially,
to do this podcast
none of us want to criticise a Daniel Garcia match.
Yeah,
none of us do. We love him, but it is what it is. You know, I thought the match was whack. So, anyway, but yeah, speaking of the Kenny Jericho Bucks segment, of course, the big part was Bucks challenged them to a match at Full Gear, and they put their tag title shot on the line. If the Bucks win, the Golden Jets are no more. And if the Golden Jets, which nobody calls them that, but if Omega and Jericho wins, they'll get the Bucks' title shot. So this is going down at Full Gear. Omega finished by what did he call? He called them like whiny little bitches or something.
Yeah, basically.
He just cooked them, you know.
Whiny little pricks.
He literally like just did the Twitter insults for whatever people call the Bucks.
Matt, was it you? I haven't heard that one before. Like,
Matt's so
funny.
Sassy, bro.
He plays the role so well. It's. So
I don't think
funny.
he's playing anything.
You think he's just like that?
Cry, Monty. You cry.
No, I mean in a good way, bro. I don't want my wrestlers to be like nice, cool people. You know, that's boring.
Yeah. I mean, as much as I wish the Bucks were winning the tag belts in LA, this match is going to be great.
People can cry about the Golden Jets being tag team as much as they want. I like Big Bill. What would you rather watch, bro?
Oh, I would absolutely
rather watch the Young
Golden
Bucks
Jets
versus
match.
Big Bill and Ricky Starks, or the Young Bucks versus Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho. Like, y'all just want to cry about booking, bro. Y'all didn't want to watch that match. All right?
I don't know whether I've ever seen Ricky Starks live. No, that's a lie. I have.
Well, yeah.
Collision.
Ricky wasn't on Wembley, so I haven't seen Ricky live. That's the only AEW show I've seen live. I'm not like Charlie who flies out to go to pay-per-views every few months. But yeah.
That is a running bit, but I've literally only done that this year. Like, before this year, I had never gone to a wrestling show like out of this country.
Well, you've done enough of it this year, Charlie. You
I
were
have.
Bowler, you know.
I did.
You've done a lot, mate.
Bowler, Revolution, Forbidden Door, and now Full Gear.
Absolutely. Seems like you've had a good... So we've lost Chris again. God bless him. All right. Ring of Honor Television Championship match. Samoa Joe defeated Keith Lee. I didn't think this match really hit like... what do we call it? Like a third gear, you know? Yeah. It started off really good. I was really like... When this match started and the opening like parts of this match and like how they were like going through the motions in it, I was really fired up. You know, the two big men just going at each other. Samoa Joe was like fully bumping. Like Keith Lee hits him with a shoulder tackle pretty early on, and Samoa Joe just flies across the ring. But when Samoa Joe wants to bump himself for someone, even this late in the game of his career, he can still do it. He's so good, man. I fucking love Samoa Joe. Keith Lee looked pretty decent as well, you know. I know that hasn't always been the case with his recent performances over this year, but Keith Lee, I thought he looked pretty decent here. If anything, I actually thought this match went a couple minutes too long. It kind of just like it went past its peak, like, but a good time nonetheless. Interesting to see what happened after the match. Obviously, Joe grabs the mic, and he has like a look at these. He looks at his belt like weirdly. And then, like I said, he grabs a mic and he vacates the Ring of Honor television title. He says the next belt that will be on his shoulder will be the AEW World title. To be honest, and I think it's been a very fair common criticism that people brought up. It's like, I don't really see the need for this because, you know, obviously it doesn't make the ROH television title look great at all, especially after Samoa Joe is the longest reigning champion in the title's history. He's gone up 500 odd days of it, and now he's just vacating the belt. A lot of people are like, if he's just going to vacate, just have Keith Lee win the match. I can understand why people would have said that, or have someone like Mark Briscoe win it eventually, because I know obviously that was something that a lot of people wanted them to go back to from before. So, you know, a lot of people were questioning his decision, and also one of the most common things that I saw was like, why is he saying that he needs to give up the ROH TV title to chase Max with the AEW World title when Max himself
Is an ROH champion.
Yeah, Max himself is an ROH champion. Like, it doesn't make much logical sense in that sense. But I guess it's just one of them. We'll have to wait and see how it plays out. Maybe they'll just put the world title on him. We could have had double bout Joe still again.
He's definitely going to be world champ one day. I don't think MJF drops it to him though. I think he gets it a little bit later down the line.
I want him
How much
to.
later down
I would love it if he did.
How much later down the line?
Then,
I'm not sure.
Big Sam Joe.
I think it happens, bro. I think. I just don't think. I don't think MJF's dropping it to Joe, but yeah, like I don't hate it. So there's like two factions of Samoa Joe fans, right? People that are like actually Samoa Joe fans, like Monty, and people that put over Samoa Joe because he's part of the CM Punk extended universe. And the CM Punk extended universe fans was acting like he like just took a shit on the belt, and then TK came out and pissed on it, and then brought out a shovel and literally buried it. And I don't think that happened. I think it was a weird move, but I'm not offended by it because it is Samoa Joe. And if anybody is Ring of Honor, it's Samoa Joe. So, like, he's not disrespecting the brand, bro. Like, it's just a strange move that they're doing. I'm not sure the need for it. Probably would have had Keith win. But who knows what they have planned for Keith, man. Maybe he has a singles feud coming up that wouldn't really make sense for him to have the belt. Obviously, they're working it more into rotation nowadays, thank God. But I liked the match. Keith, hey, Monty. Keith's out there looking trim, brother. He's out there looking
again.
He's out there looking slim, bro. He was running. He has some pep in his step. He's looking spry. Yeah. I probably would if I had the book, I'd just keep the belt on him, honestly.
Yeah, so I'm not like outraged. I think it's definitely questionable. It's not what I would have done, but I'm not like fucking outraged and disgusted by it. You know what I mean? A few people are saying he chose option C. It's not even that though, because it's not even like him relinquishing the belt or vacating the belt has got him the title shot. Like he still has no title shot right now.
He doesn't have a title shot. He's at this. He's literally at the same spot that he was last week or before the match.
Yeah, he just has to do
belt anymore.
Yeah, he just got to work less days.
Yeah,
so he can focus. But either of you guys got anything to say about the match itself?
I enjoyed it. I thought it was a little bit long, but the crowd was really into it. But I don't. It's a case of the crowd was into it, but I think they just like chanting meat, which is very funny to me.
Yeah, it's become one of those things.
But I don't think that's true because they haven't done it since. And there have
been
meaty
meaty
men matches since. They've been meaty men matches on Collision. They didn't change. They haven't changed. Yeah. So.
Yeah. It's only for specific people.
Yo, Kappa Sensei, you keep crying in the chat. I'm just gonna ban you, bro. Like, get my dick out of your mouth, bro. Like, God,
he hasn't actually threw an insult yet, though. So we're just
but he's just crying, bro. Like, you just crying.
Listen, mate. I'll get it. All right, I get it. You know. If he throws an insult in there, he'll get banned. But, anyway, all right. So Joe vacated that belt. Orange Cassidy and Hook had a backstage segment. I really like what Orange Cassidy had to say here. He just cut like a really good promo where, in a rare instance, and I don't mean this in a derogatory way because I think Cassidy's great, but he felt like a real person. He said that the international title, it just doesn't feel the same because he didn't beat Jon Moxley for it, who beat him. And Cassidy wants his revenge on Moxley for leaving him in the pool of his own blood. Just building this match, just building towards this match. So, we're going to get I think they're doing a tag match next week or something like that as well. So
yes.
Hook and Orange Cassidy. Is Hook officially part of Best Friends? I think he is. Versus Moxley and Yuta.
He's like an honorary member because him and Cassidy eat chips together, don't they?
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck that is.
I hope
this who do y'all have go over in this match? Because I don't know.
I think they might have Yuta pin Hook, and then
I meant the title match at Full Gear.
Oh, the title match.
Cassidy has to win.
I think Cassidy wins. Like,
Yeah, I think he wins too. Like
they can't
he just gets
fall
cucked.
back into this trap of let's just belt Mox up again. Like, I get they love having Mox as a champion, but come on. Especially when we don't need it to be happening. Like, it was different when they like.
At the same time, OC ran through the entire mid card with that belt. So what do you have to do with it, bro? Like,
I'd have Roosh beaten for it. I genuinely would have Roosh beaten for it.
It's really weird, isn't it? Because from like a storytelling point of view, it's like Cassidy has to win this match against Mox. You know, he has to get his league back. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
But in terms of like as a promotion landscape wise, it's like what AO just said is a absolutely perfect point to bring up. Is like Cassidy's already beat everyone that he would potentially face for the belt anyway. So
yeah,
man. Maybe you do something like he defends it on the Saturday on pay-per-view, and on the Wednesday you just have Roosh kill him. You know,
like, yeah. Honestly,
I'm with that. Absolutely.
I'm so with it.
Yeah,
I do kind of wish that Mox did get the run he was meant to have with it.
Yeah, of course.
Because it would have been pretty cool to seeing him taking it to like the New Japan shows and stuff.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I don't get that down the line.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I just have
can't decide whether
trauma from them ping ponging these belts onto Mox, so I don't need it in this situation.
Yeah. Yeah. Basically, just don't need that with Mox. But of course, obviously, it would have been cool to see it would have been cool to see like the original plan play out, you know. Yes. But obviously, it was very unfortunate with Mox getting a concussion and stuff.
Like Mox would have definitely took that to Lone Star.
Absolutely,
100%. Alright, the Guns defeated the Bollywood Boys. Quick squash again. They seemed much like this was just a squash, you know. They got on the mic. Called out MJF. Got a lot of boos. Said guns up. Crowd did guns up with them, and that was that. John Moxley and Wheeler Yuta backstage segment. There, it was a retaliation promo to what Cassidy was just saying. Moxley called the Blackpool Combat Club the dominant predators of AEW. He's so beast, man. Honestly, Mox, of course, cut a really great promo. Let's say, for example, I don't know if these are the actual times, but let's say Mox was talking for like 50 seconds of this. You got a little 10 seconds at the end, and I thought he done nice with his little bit at the end, you know.
Yeah, we were putting Yuta over on the watch along, right? Because before, like when BCC was cutting a promo and Yuta had to like scowl in the back with his arms crossed, I didn't believe you, little bro. I didn't believe you. You looked like a geek. Yeah. Nowadays, I believe you. Yuta.
It's a bit more bass in his voice.
Yeah, you got some bass in your voice. Yeah, the scowl's on point, bro. You did a little Benny, low key throat slash. You did it by the eye. Like Yuta, I believe, bro. I believe.
I think he called Hook Pretty Boy, which was very funny.
God bless. But yeah, man, some good stuff with the back and forth promos between them two teams. Wardlow vignette, he wants to kill MJF, and I thought I think this might have been my favourite Wardlow vignette out of the ones I've done so far. Like, he's in the gym looking like a fucking animal, you know. He's swinging a sledgehammer around, and he's just fucking talking about Max and how he's gonna fucking kill him, basically. About how MJF.
Wardlow's coming off all right.
Go ahead.
No, I was saying the last 2 weeks, Wardlow's come off all right. Like when he hammed MJF up, and then this.
I bought stocks, today. Bro. I bought stocks.
You're back in?
Yeah, bro. I've been back in for about 3-4 weeks.
I can't do the Powerbomb Symphony, bro. Like every time I see it,
you don't do it anymore.
He starts every match.
Bro, he does it. He does like one last ride. That's what I like when he comes out. Bang! No, he does one last ride and just walks off. That fucking. I thought that rule. I'm a fan, bro. I'm back on. I've bought stocks in Wardlow again. I got a good price on them. So
I'm looking. I'm looking into buying. We'll see what he cooks.
I need to see him have an extended match.
Yeah, when he has a real match, I'll see what he does.
I don't even need to see that, man. I just need to see. I don't know.
I've been burned before. I'm not doing it again. I'm not doing it.
This is a good match though. Julia Hart versus Red Velvet.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people are behind Julia Hart at the moment. She's progressed quite a lot in a short space of time over this year. And people have got behind her, rightfully so, even though she's a heel. But like, it's not like people are like kind of diminishing that either. You know, like people are happily playing along with her matches. This was the return of Red Velvet for the first time in like 10 months, a year, something like that. A long time she's been out injured. And I thought she looked really good here. She was bumping all over the place. She really threw herself into this match. You know, sometimes people go into their first match after injury and they're kind of moving a bit gingerly, you know? Yeah, but Velvet was like, nah, fuck all that shit. I'm making a point of why I should be continued to booked on these shows, and I think she should. Velvet has a lot to offer. She can tour. She has a good look. And she can work, you know? She can bump. And she can take, you know, she can lead matches as well. She's good, man. I like Red Velvet a lot.
Yeah.
She looked really good here. Julia Hart got the win though. Which, you know, some people will question that because it was Velvet's first match back. But, you know, it's not like Velvet was like a, you know, former TBS champion or anything like that. But still. Sky Blue comes to the ring. And, of course, she has like a spooky face-off with Julia Hart. They don't say anything. And then Chris Statlander and Willow Nightingale come down. Nightingale, she goes and looks after Velvet. And then Chris Statlander kind of gets in the middle of Sky Blue and Julia Hart. Nobody says anything. It's weird.
I'm not sure what they're cooking with this storyline. I haven't really given them the rope to cook because I'm just over spooky mist in face. Ooh, what's it gonna do to you, Malachi? You ruined it for me forever, bro. Like it's done. So, but like I like all the talent involved. So, I mean, I love some of the talent. Like I love Stat, love
I think that's what saves it in the sense of like why people don't just like. I think that's why people save it in the sense of like why people don't like fully just shit all over it. To be honest, because it's got like too much talent in it. In the storyline that people like. People like Julia at the moment. A lot of people are fond of Sky Blue. Everyone loves Willow. Everyone loves Stat. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like, it makes it tough for some people to criticize, I think. And it's like, when you actually look at the angles they're doing, it is actually like pretty terrible, you know? Like,
but at least it's just bad angles or below average to bad angles, but at least it's not full blown wrestle crap. I'll say that. Some of that shit Malachi was doing, brother. Oh my god.
I don't know, man. I think this dangerously borders with wrestle.
You think the dancing with wrestle?
I think, like I said, bro. I think, bro, if he's had like one or two shitters in it, you know, like
this coach would be running wild.
Yeah.
Hey man, we've gotten good matches out of this. So.
Yeah,
exactly. So it's like it saves it in that sense, you know, because the talent involved in it is like good talent.
Do you think they're going to do a four-way, Full Gear? Because that's where it feels like it's going.
Potentially,
yes, I can see that.
Like I don't know what else they would do because of Full Gear always seems to be the pay-per-view that gets the two women's matches. So. Yeah, it does, actually.
In the strong.
Yes. It's just like, look, guys, we did it. Like,
I'm not really interested in seeing a tag.
No.
Too, so.
Just like, who would tag with who at this point? Like, Sky Blue's, like, essentially still aligned with Willow, and Willow's aligned with Chris.
I think if they did a tag, it would be Willow and Chris, and then Sky Blue would be like, oh, yeah, I said I had a problem with Julia, but actually, all this mist stuff is actually wrestle crap, so who cares? I'm Team Julia now. Like, I could very easily see that happening.
Oh, this mist is wrestle crap now.
I'd be interested to see how they did a four-way, and if they used it as a way to get the belt off of Chris without having her pinned. To be honest.
Hey man, we'll do a couple of super chats before we go into the last couple of segments. $1.99, appreciate it. Very curious what TK will do when Jamie's back. Speaking of Jamie's back, Jamie's. I actually haven't got an update, so I won't say that she's still a long way away. But at the time she got injured, it was pretty bad. But at the time, not even the time she got injured, I don't think it was like a one injury thing. I think it was like an accumulation sort of thing.
Yeah.
So, I think even though she's a lot younger, I think he's very similar to like Randy. You know, like he was out for a long time. Just his back was just fucked after like a certain amount of time, and he was trying to grit through it, and eventually it was just, he ended up being out for as long as he's been out for now. Marcus, shout out Marcus of the Unpurist, WrestlePurist family, 199. He says, fight, we'll hear from WrestlePurist's attorney.
They tried to fuck on us last night, brother. It was nasty.
Nasty business. Reggie, $2. Appreciate you. Hangman with the news comment is crazy.
Did you see that? Did you see that, Monty? Someone on Reddit was like, yo, should Hangman Page bring the noose back and hang Swerve at Full Gear?
Insane.
Yo, what is wrong with wrestling fans?
It's just, I don't know.
And it's people like
those ones are like, these ones are even funnier because you don't know if someone's just being dumb or if someone's like
just straight up like someone's just that fucking clueless. It's people like you is why I'll never get Hangman having the rope back as part of his walkout gear. And not the noose, just the rope around his neck. That look was so hard with the bandana and the rope. And you dickheads with your news comments. It's why we'll never get it back, bro.
Will Chisholm, $10. Appreciate you. As always, it feels like they book Shida like how WWE book Asuka. We put the title on you so you can have good matches, but you drop it to who we want to have the title. When it comes to like the title booking, I ain't got much argument for that really, because Asuka has definitely fell into that position a lot of the time really on the main roster. She has had some real reigns, but it's just like, she's definitely been a placeholder at times for them. So sometimes I get that impression with Shida as well. Ibu at backup Hangman to some of you guys, you all know. $4.99, appreciate it. Depressed at the prospect of another mid-FTR pay-per-view match when they go full collision verse against Big Bill and Ricky at Full Gear, 3.25 to 3.5, depending on the heat.
Look, brother.
Go on, Ale.
As someone who would if you told me FTR is never wrestling again, I'd smile. I'd click my heels. I'd do backflips. But I can admit that they have had some all-timers on the Ring of Honor brand with the Briscoes. Rest in peace, Jay. I was just watching back some of his matches this week. However, I just dropped one of my AirPods. Their AEW pay-per-view track record is very bad, bro. It is not good.
Very spotty.
It's not good. I don't know what the issue is. They've worked with some very talented teams, but they've gone out there and had the worst men's match of the night on a couple occasions. I can't cap to you. So, not my goats is all I'm gonna say.
You also, to be fair, even though a lot of what you just said was actually true about some definitely their pay-per-view record in AEW is very spotty. And they've definitely under-delivered at times where people have got the hopes up for certain matches. But there's also the element is that hey, I know you just don't fuck with FTR matches,
But the thing is,
I think the best example of it with you was
Ibu agrees with me when I say these things during the pay-per-view.
What does
he is
Ibu
their
know?
top cock rider.
Ibu don't know nothing. What I will say though, 100%, like I said, there's a lot of truth into what you said, but there's also that element as well. So when a match is underwhelming, you might think it's terrible. Do you know what I mean? So
I mean that's fair. But...
I think the biggest example of it was it Bishamon? It was the Wrestle Kingdom match.
Wrestle Kingdom Bishamon.
Yeah, was it? Yeah,
look,
Bishamon.
To be fair,
good match, bro. And I remember you, Chris, and everyone being like, "Oh, that match sucks, bro." I was like, hold on,
bro. You can't. What do you think is gonna happen when you make FTR haters watch a 3.5-star affair at 4:30 in the morning? What do you think we're gonna say? We're gonna say it's the wrestling shits, bro. Come on,
All right.
What did you give it on the spreadsheet? Do you remember?
I don't remember. Close to 4 though. I remember really enjoying that match.
Close to 4.
I remember Cash Wheeler going insane in it. It was like the
3
start
3/4
of
of a
Cash
team that we
being the-
hate, bro. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing invading my Nuge? You Confederate generals, all right? You Cash Wheeler snuck guns into Japan. First of all, Loki got banned from New Japan from doing this. Cash Wheeler, that noted gang member who still has felony gun charges hanging over his head. I might add, you feel me? He went into the Tokyo Dome and he laid a log in the middle of Antonio Inoki's ring.
Oh. Yeah, that's how much might end up being my food, bro.
Objective analysis, by the way.
All right. So yeah, Big Bill and Ricky Starks versus FTR seems like it could be on the horizon. That's not confirmed or official or anything, but it seems like it may be the direction after the books seem to be busy for Full Gear.
Kind of unfortunate.
Well, you might have to anyway.
Congratulations to Big Bill for getting that spot, though. Happy for him.
Yeah.
We've got 2 segments left. 3 if you include the afters in the main event. But yeah, let's get to it. Mariah May. Backstage interview of RJ City. Of course, we kind of talked about this as a presentation thing earlier. Of course, my stance on it is if you bring in someone like Mariah May, who you're going to put like next to we assume he's going to be soon to be women's world champion in Toni Storm. I just think they could have done more presentation wise in terms of just like maybe just running a little vignette, doing something like that. But I do think literally just her popping up backstage with RJ City for 45 seconds to a minute was very kind of like underwhelming. And I'm not saying that she should have came out with the lights go off and she comes out to no pop and everyone asks who is that. Like obviously that would have been a disservice as well. But again, the other end of the scale was the RJ, just her popping up backstage with RJ City. Not with no like real introduction either. Do you know what I mean? It was just kind of like, oh, this is Mariah May. It's like, oh, okay, you know. So I thought that was like the other end of the scale. I do think there was like a happy medium to be found, whether that was the use of vignettes, whether that was the use of doing something else. I don't know. I'm not a booker, but it did come off kind of underwhelming to me. But that being said, I do kind of understand why they didn't want to just throw her out there to get no pop. But again, you know, get a bit more creative with it at least. Good enough what she said. Of course, it does seem like she's going to be involved with Toni Storm stuff because she did come across as like a Toni Storm fangirl. Yeah. I think RJ City said that he can make a meeting happen with her next week, and she got really excited about that. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it seems like she's going to be like Toni Storm's understudy or something like that. Yeah. I wouldn't call this segment a complete miss, you know, or anything. I wouldn't even call it bad because you got some sort of you got some story progression with the Toni Storm stuff and those seeds being planted. So
the presentation, like if you put aside the fact that this is how we met a new wrestler, like put that aside, right? You could argue that like no, you dead or whatever. But I think it was a good segment because a wrestler stated their intentions, said what they wanted to do in AEW, said what they were going to do next week. People were locked in. People liked the content, whether or not they liked how the person was presented in their debut or not. The content of what she actually said, people enjoyed. She came off well. She looked awesome, and she gave us something to be excited for next week. I'm hyped, bro. I can't wait for the glamour to link up with Timeless Toni Storm. I'm hyped, brother. I'm here for it. I'm setting my clock, Monty.
Chris, before you lose, you get your shit off.
Okay, well, my power was going on and off. This is not my fault. I live in Texas. So I think that the segment, I said on Twitter, I said that I think everyone here prefers, even if they don't love the backstage segment, how they debuted her, we all prefer over her coming out to no pop, right?
Yeah.
I think that's agreeable.
Yeah.
So I would have rather vignettes leading up to a backstage interview. But I think all this can be negated. How some people were underwhelmed by it. Some people were like, blah, 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 blah. She's already in like hot water because that's how they debuted her. I think her being already positioned in the main event of the women's division. She's going to be positioned with Toni Storm. Now I see a lot of people saying it's like Mickey and Trish. I don't see it that way. Because Mickey and Trish is like
obsession stuff, isn't it? So
can someone explain that story? Because I was not watching when that went down. This Mickey and Trish.
It was obsession, but it was like it was a love thing. Like it was like they were pushing like a lesbian angle.
Okay, so Trish is obviously the shit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like she's her, especially back then. Do you know what I mean? So Mickie James comes in and she's like this young, enthusiastic wrestler, and she's like very much like Mariah May is like a stan of Trish Stratus. And she's a stan, and it's going along. But obviously, Mickie then starts getting like weird and like really possessive, especially when Trish is around like other women and stuff like that. And then, like Chris was saying, it delves into flirting with, lesbian stuff. And
I'm crying.
But it's basically an obsession angle. It's basically an obsession storyline.
I was still watching WWE in around that time, but I was not watching Raw.
Oh yeah, and they had a really good WrestleMania match as well, which is like very like fondly remembered. Even still to this day, it holds up pretty well, to be honest.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, man, Mickie and Trish, very memorable feud. Very memorable feud. Mm-hmm. You got the spot when Mickie does that. She done a callback to it in the Trinity match the other week as well. I love Mickie. I think she's awesome. But yeah.
I am scarred by the 20 minutes of hardcore country being chanted at fucking the 11th anniversary show.
She's a beast. Charlie, what did you think of her?
Bro, her last Impact run, it's kind of tainted her legacy for me a little bit.
Bro, you can tell she wants to be in WWE, bro. She does not want to be in Impact.
It's not even that, bro. It's just, she's older. Some people.
She's now allowed in TNA.
Yeah, I'm banning you from TNA. We can't have any fed lovers in TNA. Mickie, she's
you're being outrageous right now. I thought with the way you was talking, I was like, surely they're not talking about Mickie James.
Go be producers. Go be producers for SmackDown. We can't have any fed lovers in my
Mickie James is a fucking living legend that is right there.
I do like Mickie.
Yo, what's your favorite Mickie James match this year, Monty? Not named Trinity, not Trinity though. Anything else?
She's been injured for a lot of it. She had a really good match with Jordan Grace. Probably that. But she did get injured recently. Obviously, she came back. She faced Trinity. That match wasn't particularly great, but it was entertaining. I got myself through it, but I still like Mickie, man. I love Mickie.
Surprisingly good. After she had a shambolic 2022.
Yo, she had a match with Deonna Purrazzo. Oh my god.
You're talking about the Texas Deathmatch one.
Oh my god!
Yeah, that match was horrible.
That was unfortunate.
That was the worst match of the year contender right there.
And they're both like good wrestlers, so I was like, why does it stink?
Yeah, that was an unfortunate one with that Texas Deathmatch was. But yeah, man, big fan of Mickie. I just like really respect her. What she's done in this business. Slam my fist on the table. But yeah, Charlie, what did you think of this the presentation and the kind of the storyline direction from Mariah May's first appearance in AEW?
I honestly didn't really have much of an issue with the presentation because it could have been a whole lot worse. Like, it could have been better, yeah. Like, I don't disagree with that at all, but I don't really have a whole lot of issue with it. I do like the idea of her like being Toni Storm's understudy. I think it could be a lot of fun if they play it out right. And she's being put in a good position in the company straight away. And sometimes that's all you can ask for with talents that like we know are like really like pretty good, like really good in ring. So I hope that she gets over with the AEW audience and she just does well. I'm just happy for her.
I think she'll be a hit. I think she'll.
Yeah, I think she's gonna do really, really, really well in AEW. Yeah, I think she's gonna do.
And she's already the best, in my opinion. Other than maybe, I think she's better than Toni Storm. I'll just say that. At this point, Toni Storm's
You gonna say she's the best white girl?
Yeah, I was gonna say she's the best non-Joshi in the division, other than Statlander.
I'm taking big
Other than
stats,
Statlander.
baby.
Who, Mariah May?
Taking
Who?
big stats, and I'm taking
Mariah
Toni
May.
Storm.
Yeah, Mariah May.
Oh no, I don't agree with that.
taking-
Brother,
I'm
she
taking
does
big stats
backdrop
and Toni
drivers.
Storm. But
Yeah, cool. She was in Stardom
and then
for a year.
obviously-
You kind of
obviously
have to, didn't
Renee as
you?
well. And then we have Athena as well. Like
Okay, Athena's an ROH,
There's
so I
a
didn't
pecking
count
order.
her.
There's a pecking order going on around here. But Mariah May is really good. I've enjoyed her work in Stardom. You got
Yeah, I'm just
seeking out her matches. When she
I was
so
seeking out her
amazing.
matches.
But
Good woman. That's a good woman. Also, I'm
Chris
glad
Mutual
Rosie.
on Twitter.
Yeah, shout out to.
Friend of the brand.
Yeah. Also, I'm glad Rosie Argawa is probably crying in his hat right now.
No.
Don't ever come for the fleet again, old
What
man.
you gotta do Rossi like that, man?
Don't ever come for the fleet again.
The fleet, and you think I ain't noticed? I saw you getting sassy with the fleet, Rossi. Don't ever let me catch you in Brooklyn. Taking that fedora.
Poor Rossi. He's probably going to lose a lot of talent next year. Mariah May. I think she's like a very solid talent that has still got some ways to go. So I wouldn't say she's like better than Toni Storm or anything like that.
Yeah, not at all.
That.
Chris is just being a coomer.
Bro, I think. Listen, I'm not a coomer. I don't like women's wrestling because how attractive.
I know. I mean, you are a coomer, but you don't pretend.
I am not a coomer.
Good women are. You don't pretend good-looking women are good at wrestling.
Then why'd you call me a coomer?
I was joking, bro. You gonna cry? You gonna cry on air?
I'm not crying. I hate this, bro. He just okay.
All right. Anyway,
Jamie's in the chat, sticking up for his uncle. Sorry, Jamie. We didn't know you were here, bro.
you gotta keep it chill. Gotta keep it chill when Jamie's around. Let's talk about this main event because I did really enjoy this. This was my favorite match on the show. Jay White defeats Mark Briscoe. This was actually for Jay White's title shot. Hilariously. So going into this AEW Dynamite, the main event going into Full Gear could have been Daniel Garcia versus Mark Briscoe.
Yo,
imagine
that moves
in a
me
wacky universe where it's just like two freak injuries, and then you guys do two folk finishes, and then they both go over, and then this just has to be the main event. What does TK do? You got to make it a triple threat somehow, right? With like
with Samoa Joe, throw him in there.
Like you gotta throw somebody in. Like you gotta be like, "Yo, Kenny, bro, we gotta find a way to get you in this match."
Yeah, but no, that was a possibility going into AEW Dynamite last night. But
I didn't know that the main event was for his title shot. That's very funny.
Yeah, but yeah, Mark Briscoe versus Jay White. Jay White did get the win, but Mark Briscoe's performance in here just. Jay White was great because he always, especially when he can just be a heel against someone who's so clearly loved and baby-faced, you know. Jay White always shines in matches like that. But I thought Briscoe just, he's only just came back, but just the level of effort that he shows and just I know it might sound like corny, but like he just put so much like heart and commitment into his performances, and he just kind of
tears in my eyes watching that match.
I
was in my feelings missing Jay. Rewatching old Briscoes and Jay matches this week. I didn't even remember this match was coming up. It came on. Well, I remember when the promos hit and we was doing like the pre-Dynamite stuff, bro. But Mark kicked ass. Is that Jay's best AEW singles match? It is, right?
I think so.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, bro, like that. I loved that match, bro. That was awesome. I can't put over that main event enough.
Yeah, tremendous. Mark Briscoe just the physicality, like I've already said, the heart, commitment, the just overall effort that he put in. Then obviously going up against someone as good as Jay White, someone who can kind of just dissect him when needed to be as a heel, It was tremendous, and then once again, Mark Briscoe, like he does pretty much every other time I see him on television, whether it's a segment, whether it's a live promo, whether it's a match, whether it's a trios match. just proved again why I just fucking love the guy. You know, I'd really like this match. So really good stuff. Chris, what did you think?
Bro, I love Mark. I love Mark Briscoe. I love the Briscoes so much in general. I still get sad a lot of the time watching old Briscoe stuff because we never got a Briscoes match in AEW due to circumstances. So it really upset. Like
those liberal Time Warner executives.
Like,
oh my God, it won't be nice.
I love the Briscoes, bro. Like, I think I've explained on a pod before why I love the Briscoes so much. But Mark, being put in a position where he can main event a Dynamite, or he can have singles matches, and no one's like, why is this? Why is he doing all this? Like, it really makes me happy, and it also works because he's like a great wrestler. He's a great personality. No one else on the roster looks like Mark Briscoe. So there's a level of like
talks like him, works like him.
He has a level of authenticity to him that when you're watching his matches, you're just like you want to root for him. I thought it was great. I thought this is probably Jay's best AEW singles match.
Java on the chat for the Hangman match, and the Hangman match had a higher peak, but they worked such like a New Japan style in the beginning.
Yeah,
it was like slow burn. But it's just like it's a TV match, brother. Like y'all gotta kind of get to the point faster than y'all did. You know what I mean? But they didn't. So I think like if you ask me which one I'd rather like rewatch, I'm rewatching the Mark match, and obviously Hangman's one of my favorite wrestlers ever. So that means a lot.
Yeah, I'd say I think this one clears, to be honest. But like, I have like a heavy Briscoe bias, so
yeah, the Briscoes.
Maybe I'm not the best.
I'm
not the best to choose between those two. Yeah, it's just really nice to see Mark Briscoe, man. Of course, he's had such a year with the injury, with the loss of his brother, which was of course heartbreaking for everyone. Right. And it's just really cool to see him go out there, main event AEW Dynamite, and have just one of those reminder performances. Like I said, just reminds me yet again why I love fucking Mark Briscoe, man. He's just, as Chris and AO mentioned, there's just no one like him. He's just awesome. Charlie, what did you think?
I love this match. This has been like one of my favorite like Dynamite matches we've had in a while. It was just everything I love about wrestling. Like Mark's so over with the crowd. Like obviously because he's Mark fucking Briscoe. Like everyone loves him. Like, and Jay White's so good at being a heel, and like he's great as a heel anyways. But when the babyface is like a babyface and like the crowd is super behind him, he works even better. And they just have such great chemistry. And the match was something special. And I don't want to see Mark Briscoe like losing a lot of matches, but they're doing this thing with Jay White and Swerve at the moment. I don't know if anyone else has picked up on this. They're wrestling a lot of the same people, and I don't know whether it's intentional or not. So I would love to see Mark Briscoe wrestle Swerve. I think that would be incredible.
Yo, Chris, I don't need you moaning directly into my ears.
But I would love to see that match. And I also want Mark Briscoe to wrestle Eddie Kingston for the Ring of Honor World Championship.
He should win it.
He should win it,
TV
absolutely.
Title for Mark, he's above it. There was a time and a place for the TV title.
Yeah.
No,
he's the only person I want to see dethrone Eddie at this point.
World title.
Oh my gosh.
WrestlePurists' own Joe Holbert made a great tweet, and I'm paraphrasing, but he basically said that, like, look at what Mark Briscoe is doing out there. He could be a major player for AEW. Like, the people believe in him. He's like doing the work and stuff. Like, he could be that, and he hopes that. And he was just saying that he hopes that like TK and like the executives or whatever saw that, and I hope so too, bro. Because I don't want Mark Briscoe wrestling on TV or Dynamite to be a rare occurrence or once a quarter occurrence or anything. Like I want Mark Briscoe on television, bro.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. And as for like Mark Briscoe's position on the how highly I think of Mark Briscoe is probably might come across a bit ludicrous to some people, but I think he's like If I was to say how high up I think he is as like an all-round talent, like just talking to, I'm not talking star power, just as an all-round, how talented and skilled a wrestler is. Like, if I revealed how high up on that list, I think Mark Briscoe is an AEW. Some people might think I'm a little bit crazy, but he's a really special wrestler.
Top 10? Like...
Oh, I'm higher.
It doesn't surprise me, but I'd have him top 10.
He's a very
There's
special.
not a whole lot of people
special.
that can do what Mark Briscoe does.
Yeah, there's not 10 wrestlers in AEW I like more than Mark Briscoe.
Oh yeah, when it comes to likable, when it comes to who I like the most, like he's easy top 3. Like, he's easy.
Yeah, I meant like in a position of like where I put them on the card. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. You can,
sucks, bro. Because when it comes to tag teams, I'm low key like an older brother merchant, except for the Bucks, because Nick Jackson just fucking clears. It was like when I was a kid, I was a Matt Hardy fan. Like I was a Jay Briscoe fan. Like the older bros, I always just like root for them and shit. It's so bad that Jay's gone. But Mark carrying on his legacy, bro. Like still repping them boys. Jay Briscoe on the Titantron every time he comes out, or the Contron, or whatever you want to call it, bro. Like it's special, bro. It's special every time you get to see him wrestle. Because there's a reality where Jay Briscoe passes away and Mark says, "Fuck this shit, bro. Like I have a successful farm. I just go do this. I never wrestle again. My brother's not here. I don't want to do this anymore." And we just never see him again, bro. Like, there's a reality that happens. So I'm gonna be thankful that every time that we get to see Mark wrestle, bro, and it's such a high level too.
Yeah, it's a genuine treat as well, which makes it even better, you know. So, shout out Mark Briscoe. You know, we fucking love that guy. After the main event, there was a lot of drama. After the match, MJF's music hits. Of course, he wants his belt back off Jay White. You know, after Jay White got the win, but it could go all out there. But MJF done the old classic, play my music but sneak up behind you. So he does that. He hits a bunch of the Bullet Club Gold boys with Dynamite Diamond Ring. They all roll out the ring. He nearly gets his hands on Jay White, but he gets out of there and he kind of runs off. Jay White gets on the mic and he cuts a really good fired up promo. I can't remember exact details and quotes from it, but it was a really good fired up promo. But the lights go out, and then this Titantron comes on, and it's a video playing of the Masked Men. They're back again. They're attacking the Acclaimed. They put Anthony Bowens through a pane of glass, and then it flashes off, and then it flashes back on again, and the man with the devil mask, or the man or woman, it could be anyone, shows up on screen. MJF runs backstage, all dramatic. Maybe people didn't know it's just when it was on last night, but you need to watch that clip again of MJF running backstage. Like, oh my god!
You're a wrestler.
But yeah, MJF pulls up, and he has a look at the scene. Of course, it's chaos. The Acclaimed are all laid out. There's glass everywhere. He's like, "What is going on?" He's, his hands on his head, and then Samoa Joe just comes up chuckling like. You need a friend.
You know what popped me so much about that, Monty? It's like when Joe came up, he was just like, "Bro, like this bullshit would never fucking happen to me, bro. Like they can try." Like, I'm Joe. Like I'd really knock all 5 of their bitch asses out. Like he just thought it was hilarious.
Well, I don't know about that, Ayo. He got kidnapped by ninjas before.
He did get kidnapped by ninjas.
He did get kidnapped by ninjas before. What I am looking forward to is ever since Samoa Joe offered his services to MJF, one of the main things we'll look forward to is like when MJF eventually takes up that offer and someone tries to jump MJF and Samoa Joe just fucking kills him. He just shows up out of nowhere and chokes him out. Do
y'all remember Joe's last NXT stint where he was like a security guard for a Regal?
When he choked out Adam Cole.
Killed Karen Crosser and Cole.
It was Adam Cole. Adam Cole tried pushing him out the way. Tried pushing him out the way to get at Kyle or some shit. And fucking Joe was like, better mind yourself. Just choked him out.
I was locked into NXT for that like 3 weeks. Yeah. I was like, Joe's back. I'm fired up, brother. Joe's back.
Honestly, I know it's Cross and people are going to feel the way they feel about Karrion Kross, but that storyline that they told about like with Joe coming back as like the enforcer to win the belt back to stop Cross from running wild was like really well done. So
that was one of the few Cross matches that I seen at the time because like I wasn't watching NXT, so I saw the industry plant like 5-way. I saw the Gargano match, and then I saw the Joe match, and I was just like, yo, why do people hate Cross so much, bro? He's got aura. Like,
that's what I mean. He's all right.
And then he's just he came to the main roster. Vince obviously didn't help him at all. That was shambolic. Then he hit the indie scene, and that was even worse than what was going on in the main roster because he had no one else to blame but himself. But those 3 matches I saw on NXT, brother, like I was low-key a Karrion Kross fan.
He's okay, man. He's not particularly exciting. I think a lot of pushback when he was in NXT was like he was beating a lot of people's favourite. Do you know what I mean? And he was never a work rate guy, and he was just running through everyone. Do you know what I mean? And then like I think with his character, not to do full like Karrion Kross for the next 5 minutes, but like I think like you see like the character that he plays, it has to be dominant. You know, like it has to be dominant. It has to be a top guy. It has to be a protected guy. Like it just has to. It's just you can call it a crutch. You can call it a disadvantage. You can call it bad or whatever it is. But like with that particular character, he can't be going 50-50 and stuff. You know, and obviously on the main roster with all the stars and all the talent that you've got up there, it's hard to find a place for him to actually be dominant. You know, so I think he's in a pretty tough spot right now. But that being said, I don't particularly think he's not a talent that lights the world on fire, but everyone should be like, you know, rallying up to, you know, get his chance sort of thing. So,
oh my God, that match with AJ.
He wasn't that bad, man. It was just that one spot that went viral.
That shit
was
went
really bad.
That got me like 2 million impressions on Twitter. Literally 2 million.
Yeah, it was brutal. That was a really bad batch, but like the actual match itself wasn't that bad, to be honest. That was the match that was supposed to be a stipulation match to blow off the feud. They were gonna do it. AJ wanted to do a cage match, but in the end, they just didn't. They just done a match. Anyway, enough Karrion Kross. Charlie, who are the masked men?
Well, if Twitter is to be believed, or if Alex Coughlin is to be believed, it's the War Dogs because he's teasing it. He absolutely is. But Ayo, you've got to consider that it leans into my bit, so I am running with it. I don't think it's War Dogs. I don't think it's them. But if I keep saying it is, and then I end up being right, it's just funny. Stroke of
genius.
Exactly.
Ayo, who do you think it is?
Incredibly funny.
I think Adam Cole is shoot injured, but not to the level that we are supposed to believe that he is. I think it's the Undisputed Kingdom, brother. I think Kyle's back. I think Cole's gonna be there. I think Roddy's got a hand in his pie. I think it's the Undisputed Kingdom. I think it's Big Mike Bennett and Matt Taven, brother.
You know what it is, bro? One of the guys is like really jacked. So
one of the guys is really jacked. But
one of the guys is like clearly Roddy, or we're meant to think it's Roddy.
Yeah.
I think Jack Perry's still in play. He pops me so much when people think it's Punk. You know?
Bro, fucking Punk, bro. Like, I'm not gonna say never because it's professional wrestling, but Punk will not be in AEW for at least like the next 3 years at minimum, bro. Like, it's not Punk, bro. Like, that
you know what?
Burnt and nuked right now. Like, you can never say never in professional wrestling. Like, Eric Bischoff showed up on Raw, but bro, it's not Punk.
He did.
I'm letting y'all know he's not Punk. I know that for a fact.
Someone replied to me on Twitter when I tweeted about the Alex Coughlin thing. It was like, the masked man's gonna like hit a perfect GTS and then it's gonna be revealed to be Kenta, and I think that would be hilarious. I'm just here for the chaos.
It's like
because I think people are going to hate who this is no matter who it is. I've just got this feeling that it's not going to hit the way they want it to. So I just want it to be someone funny.
I've said pretty much from the start, like if it's not Cole, it's not going to hit how they want it to.
Yeah.
I think like in terms of that, what you've just brought up, Charlie, like that concern, I think it has to be Adam Cole. Like,
it has to be the Brochacho double cross, knife in the back, or a huge debut. But at this point, who could possibly be debuting? There's no big
Will Ospreay.
Like Will Ospreay. But then why would he care, bro? Like,
yeah, exactly.
Why would he care about any of this shit that's going on right now with the mask and all that? Like that's never been Ospreay or his character. Like,
I just think it would be really funny if it's David Finlay. It's just because everyone would hate it.
Twitter would burn.
Anyway, so Ayo, how's your Thursday been, brother?
Sometimes women do need to be silent, Swanty, and I applaud you for taking the initiative and taking Chuck down.
Bring it back because we're winding down anyway. Just had to make a statement, Charlie. Yeah, that was AEW Dynamite. Yeah. If Chris comes back, I'll let him have a guess of who he thinks it is. But yeah, man, it was definitely a step in the right direction. There was definitely a motivation coming out of last week's Dynamite to put more action on the show and have more like good matches, which I think is definitely a step in the right direction. I don't think it fixes some of the things that are fundamentally wrong with the show, but again, it's a step in the right direction, and it wasn't the perfect show. And some of the match graphics that we did pop for didn't quite deliver, like the MJF Daniel Garcia one, just to name one. So it wasn't perfect in that sense, but it was definitely better than last week, wasn't it, Ayo?
Yeah, 100%. I feel like it was a very enjoyable episode of AEW Dynamite, not Monday night Dynamite, not Wednesday night Raw. It was AEW Dynamite. It wasn't perfect by any means, like we said. All three of us would have loved to come in here raving about the DG and MJF matches. It didn't happen. But very few complaints besides that. Obviously, the Mariah May situation is very divisive. But, yeah, man, I liked AEW. I liked Dynamite a lot last night. I had a lot of fun enjoying the episode.
Yeah, man, it was very decent. Charlie, like I said to AO, definitely a lot better than last week, wasn't it?
Yes, absolutely. I had a lot more fun with it this week. I don't think there's been any long-term fixes made, but if they keep booking more like this on a week-to-week basis, we can get back to a place where we're like actually enjoying Dynamite on a consistent basis, and it's not all this we're back, it's over, we're back. Like, I wouldn't say we're back yet, but we're getting somewhere better. And
every time we say we're back, like there's always been like good episodes of Dynamite. But it's just like, and then next week we have just terrible, like raw pilled AEW, and it's just like, why are we doing this, bro? It's just like, and even if you like Raw, why would you want to watch Raw on like a smaller scale? With that is
it takes away the magic.
Just wrestle, bro. This is the wrestling company. We tell stories through wrestling. That's what happened last night. Like, that's what I want to see. When people were calling AEW Crash Television, that was my shit, brother. Oh my god.
Anyway, it's like a high octane, if that's the right word, like variety show, But also when they pace it really well as well, and it's not like super dizzying and it's just jumping from segment to segment to segment and you can't digest or invest anything properly. But yeah, man, like I said, step in the right direction. So, what do I want to talk about? I just wanted to touch on Daniel Garcia again before we get out of here, because we didn't really talk about like his direction coming out of this. So I think it's actually worth bringing up the promo that was uploaded to the AEW Twitter page. And it's just him being like a real person. Like, it genuinely feels like you're just talking to Daniel Garcia in this moment of his career, and he's talking about like how, the losses hurt a lot more now. They used to hurt a lot less when he was a young and up and comer, and all the veterans and all the legends wanted to work with him. And it was almost like all those losses had like a little bit of a charm to them. You know, it was a lot more forgivable and stuff, and the hurt a lot less. And as time goes by, and as, you know, people were saying, in 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, Daniel Garcia is going to be here, or he's going to be here. And obviously he's in pretty much the same spot. And, you know, the locker room's getting more crowded. And, you know, he was saying, yo, I feel lost. I feel lost out here. So, and like I said, it just felt really genuine, like he's a real person. So, like I said,
watch that promo.
Yeah, like I was saying earlier in the week, even on Wednesday when I done preview, like the big thing coming out of this, like obviously we was expecting the MJF match to be great. So yeah, the match can be great, but it's what comes out of this. You know, it's like what's next for Daniel Garcia. Is he going to be TNT champion, or is he at least going to have like a run in that division? Is he maybe he's the person to beat Orange Cassidy? You know, like, man, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what the actual direction will be, but I hope it's something significant. You know.
Because even if DG went out there, DG and MJF went out there and lit the fucking world on fire. Everybody fires across the board. First WrestlePurists 5 in like a year, and then they just don't follow up. That doesn't fix anything in AEW. You know what I mean? Like, it's just another good match, and we get a lot of good matches. Like, we need consistency. We need this to build onto something. Like, even if we think that this match here was a failure, if they build off of this, it ends up being a success. And I hope they do.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, even though the match was underwhelming, he was still put in the spot of a world title match. So it's all about what you do after. So like, this could even still be spun into a success. Right. I don't think it was a failure anyway, because even though we've criticised the match, it's not like it was getting booed or silence in the building. Do you know what I mean? It's done fine in that sense. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to touch on that. I wanted to kind of bring up that promo because I thought it was really good work from Daniel. And obviously, if you haven't seen it yet, you need to watch it.
Yeah, I'm going to watch it.
It's on the WrestlePurists page. Give us a view. I think that's everything, unless anyone's got any takes or anything that they weren't able to get off.
No.
Yeah, we good. All right, and we got one last super chat from the custodian, Alexis King, 499. Appreciate you. The masked devil could only be someone with a mind so twisted and thoughts so unclean. That's a good one to end up.
I love our chat, bro. He really
we do have a great live
chat. Changed his name from the custodian Brian Pillman to Alexis King, and I appreciate you for that, bro.
Attention to detail.
Facts. You could have been lazy about it.
Yeah, decent episode of AEW Dynamite. Like I said, a lot better than last week. Last week was can't lie, it was very funny for me seeing all the reactions and stuff like that. Yeah. I had a very funny couple of days, you know. But you know, in a broad talking sense, it's not good when wrestling shows fucking suck like they did last week. So,
you know, it was a 1-2 punch of Dynamite sucking,
and then
AEW doing a full press release and then press run and then roll out for Ric Flair signing a multi-year deal. Like, when Flair's music, like, Flair's objectively a piece of shit. He's a racist, so you know I want him to fucking die. I don't do the whole racist thing. He's allegedly a whole lot of other things. But did I pop when his music hit? Yeah, I fucking popped. It's Ric Flair, bro. Like, but what are you doing? What are you doing signing him to a multi-year deal? Like, come on, bro. Like, if you just did the one night only thing, I could have been like, all right, that's digestible, but AEW, man, funny company.
Very funny company. Very funny company. On that note, please like the video, everyone. I did not plug that anywhere near enough today, but please hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. We're trying to get to 5K. I know we've just reached past 4K.
In our chat?
I don't know, but he's very mad. He's not very mad. He just does it.
He's so mad about professional wrestling. You my cock.
Be real bitter.
I usually just wait for like an insult to be said, so I've like.
He said fat neck beard's molding or whatever insult shit he said.
But you know, he was spamming though, so it's like anyway. Enough of live chat conversation because that means nothing to the people who are going to watch this back. Anyway, we're wrapping it up. Like the video, subscribe. Appreciate the super chats as always. We will be back whenever we're back. Just keep an eye on the WrestlePurists page.
Collision watch along this Saturday. I probably won't be there because I just remembered I have to travel, but I will force.
I might be there this week
to host one. We there.
Yeah, we're gonna force Rob to host it. We're gonna force Charlie to be there. We're gonna try drag Alexia to be there. Marcus will probably be there because he's a good soldier like that. Yeah, we got some good soldiers. So Twitch watch-alongs. Keep an eye on the WrestlePurists page, of course, for when we do the Twitch watch-alongs and whenever we're next to a podcast. Again, please like and subscribe, people, if you haven't already, especially hitting that like button. And until next time, for myself, Ayo, and Charlie, and Chris, peace.
Peace.